Holy Star Wars, we are live. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast, where we talk about everything theme parks, amusement parks, roller coasters from all over the world. If you are listening to this on podcast after the show, then just to remind you, as always, we do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. On YouTube. Come and join us. Get involved in the comments. That's where that controls the show. Let's be honest. So, how are we all doing, guys? You all good?
Hello. Yes.
Yes, I'm good.
Have we had a good time? Have we all had a good Star Trek day? Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm out.
He's out.
I'm out.
Yeah,
Done.
there we go.
Shit, did I watch the wrong thing today?
Yo,
I watched Mandalorian. Was I supposed to watch something
just quickly, if you guys haven't seen like the Obi-Wan trailer drop today, the new one, holy shit, it looks incredible. You've not
The one
seen
that
it?
was...
Wait, I thought it was Stargate Atlantis Day.
No, it's
Oh, yeah.
Tesla appreciation of Atlantis. I don't know.
I mean, I thought it was Farscape Day, but that's a bit niche. Isn't it?
Farscape. Wow.
So yeah, that is the Obi-Wan. Is that that's the one that's been being filmed in like near Blackpool?
Yeah,
isn't
they
it?
filmed
Like,
it near Pete's house.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? They've created like the whole village or whatever.
They made like a some sort of village / planet looking area by the rocks near Bispham, I think it was, like Bispham / Fleetwood, like in between. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy how obviously it won't look fuck all like it. Like there's some guy going past there. Oh, do you remember that? It just reminds me. Do you remember that Pleasure Beach experience video? Pleasure Beach, Pleasure Beach experience video that they did, where it was like, are you watching Wales? And it's like, no, I'm filming a bit for the big one.
Oh yeah.
I just imagine Ewan McGregor.
I remember him and Mark just looking at each other like, oh, Wales.
I'd love if you could just see. I'd love if you could just see Big One in the background. One of the shots on the goose. Oh, there you go.
Oh, that was hilarious. I just imagine that, just to film in Obi-Wan, and that happens. Like, if that's not in the outtakes, that's
funny as hell.
That's amazing.
Nah,
But how are we all doing in the chat, everyone? Thanks so much for joining us. We have Emma, we have Chris, we have Carl, we have Treehouse Coasters in the house.
Yep. Oh, Emma, you looked buzzing on the smiler there.
Oh,
She slowed the fly, didn't she?
Yeah.
And she was back right on the smile. It was bad enough.
We got Matt in the house. How we doing?
What's up, guys? 17 people watching.
There's been a lot of people having coaster trips recently, man. A lot of people in Belgium, PA.
Everyone's getting out there.
Been to Linnanmaki. Was it last week? No,
Who was that? I don't know.
That was you, mate.
I thought you said he went to Mackey's then.
Yeah. Bit of an upgrade.
Yeah, just got a Big Mac. How was your Big Mac?
Could you imagine? Like, I've just got someone taking photos in Linnanmaki. I'm just there in a McDonald's in Leeds. So, yes, I went to Linnanmaki last weekend. Well, no, I went to. Well, yeah, I did go to Linnanmaki.
No, you definitely did, mate.
I went to Linnanmaki, but I went to Helsinki to visit a friend of mine who happens to have previously worked at Linnanmaki. But yeah, so like we spent 2 days at the park, and he was just basically showing me around, just giving me the insider tour of that park. Really, he just telling me a bunch of just giving me a bunch of info about the park, and like cool. how things came to be, specifically with their shiny new coaster. I say new, as they opened 3 years ago, but
it's still new.
Might as well be.
That's ancient in UK enthusiast terms. Apparently.
Yeah.
Wicker Man is like 10 years old these days.
We are doing a podcast like on SW9, don't you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Taiga is incredible. I love that thing to pieces. It was high up on my it was high up on my bucket list of just coasters to get on, and it did not disappoint at all. First of all, it was just great to see it. Like I don't like when when you got a coaster that's like way up on your bucket list, and like just a thing to even see it in person. Like
that park looks stunning. Like I love the look of that park.
It's really nice. It's a shame it wasn't the park was dead. Like the park was dead. It was opening weekend and it was cold as fuck. But the park was desolate. Like like part of me does kind of wish that there was more people there just to provide a bit more energy in the place. Like
yeah, because that park, Linnanmaki, it's set up for charity, isn't it? Like that's the whole point of it, is that all the profits made from it and stuff goes towards charity. I can't remember what charity it is now, but it's like I can't remember the name. But it started off as basically like a small little fair type thing, and then over the years it's like just got bigger and bigger, but it's never lost that ethos where it still gives
it still gives a lot of money to the charity from its revenue, ticket sales, like all the money that it makes. They still give a lot of that money to the charity, which is good. But yeah, the park's really nice. If you go there and it's really empty, you can tell that it has a really nice charm to it. It's just a really charming park, and it's one of those. It's like right outside of Helsinki. It's Joe said it's a group of 6 children. Yeah, it is. And like it's right outside of Helsinki. It didn't take long to get to it. Also, a lot of people who work in the city of Helsinki, and a lot of kids in the area, like it's one of those parks, and because of the opening hours as well, like it doesn't open until like on the Friday it didn't open until 3 p.m, but normally it's like 1 p.m. or 11 a.m.s, and then it closes later. So like it's one of those that it's there as an option for locals to go and hang out in. A place for locals to go and hang out in. Like
it's late opening but late closing, isn't it? Like what we were saying in September, it opens at 1 but shuts at midnight. Which is perfect opening hours for like an amusement park. Like, it's just
definitely, especially one within such close proximity to a major city as well. Like it's a great setup they got over there. But Taiga. It was just like Intamin multi-launch coasters are firmly I've probably said it before, like firmly my favorite current coaster model at the moment, and this one just didn't like disappoint at all. It's such a my one takeaway is that it's such an intelligent coaster, because like its entire ride area is on like the bottom hillside of the park, and the way it uses the terrain, the way the entire layout uses the terrain to its advantage to be creative with its pacing, like it kind of in terms of pacing likens itself to Nemesis a little bit. Obviously those two coaster models couldn't be any more different, but in terms of pacing, it reminded me a lot of Nemesis. The way it starts off with the elements just going downwards,
right? Like,
with Nemesis, the corkscrew goes down into you got the shallow drop into the corkscrew, and then the helix, and it just picks up an amount of speed that you can't really figure out how it's managing to go so fast as it gets down to the bottom of the pit. Taiga does kind of the same thing with its weirdly shaped 0G roll, 0G winder thing, and then down into like a really low and deep swooping turn. It gets up so much speed on that swooping turn before it comes back up towards the second launch, and it keeps doing that. It's not just balls to the wall speed, rip your face off intense, like the entire way around. It's creative. It slows up at points for it to then just speed up again. So like you get that feeling of acceleration as as it's going down into elements, and like it uses that to play with to make like airtime moments stronger and stuff. Like it's such a well crafted, well executed.
I watched the
ride.
POV of it because I knew we were going to be talking about it, and I noticed how fucking long it is. Like,
it's not a short ride.
It's
not a
weird.
short
The
ride.
first section before the second launch
yeah,
is quite a compact section, but then
Yeah.
they've got so much after the second launch. It's like,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
a weird balance. I thought it would be about half and half. But
The thing is, there's no like there isn't a single piece of wasted track in that layout. Like there's no wasted energy. There's no meandering. Even though, like I said, like it like intentionally slows up the pacing to then give you a jolt of fast paced elements or action. Like none of it feels like it doesn't know what it's doing.
It kind
everything feels intentional in it.
In that regard, there's loads of different reasons, but like the intelligent layout and just the location of it reminds me so much of like Helix, of what I imagine Helix to be like when you ride it. It's the fact that obviously the location is a massive factor into that, because it's pretty much on the side of a hill like Helix is, but like you say, it just nothing seems wasted. It seems like it's using its speed to the full potential, and then when it's crawling around certain corners, it feels intentional. It doesn't feel like that's a mistake. Do you know what I mean? It's
that sort of going into it, I was questioning the S bends before it gets to the second launch. Like it comes out of that, it swoops down, swoops back up, or comes back up, or climbs back up, and then like navigates a like S bend before hitting the second launch. And I was wondering if that was going to feel like it was breaking the pacing at all. It doesn't. It feels super intentional. And when like later in the day when it's running faster as well, it feels like it doesn't feel like it's meandering at all. It feels super intentional. It just needs to position itself in like for the second launch. And I kind of like, I do have it ranked underneath Taron, but I feel like it's a better layout than Taron has. There's like there's people not saying any names, Harry, that say that that Taron should have inversions and stuff, or just like there's flaws in the layout. Like people talk about the lack of inversions a lot with Taron. I don't think that's where Taron like falters a little bit in terms of just layout specifically. I just think it has some spots where the pacing slows up and it's kind of unintentional. It doesn't really feel like it knows what it wants to do. So just for like brief moments, and then like the trim like on one of the final hills kind of kills the finale for me with Taron. Don't get me wrong, obviously Taron is still an elite coaster, but it does have parts in the layout, in my opinion, where it follows a bit. Taiga doesn't have any of those. Like
what puts it below Taron then?
The fact that Taron still has the super strong, whippy, forceful, aggressive moments that Taiga does. With all of that theming, with the all-encompassing area design of Klugheim all around it. Like that's where you kind of weigh it up as
it's almost unfair, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, like how many enthusiasts are there that don't care about theming that much?
There's loads. There's
loads of them. There's loads of them.
I'd say it's probably split bang in the middle, if I'm honest. It depends. Yeah, depends
like,
where you've grown up.
Do you prefer a layout that is like? Do you place more value on a layout that is flawless over world-class theming? Basically,
it's not even. It's
in this specific example.
Yeah, it's not even theming. It's terrain as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call Nemesis Pit theming. It's just so happens
it's a dynamite hole.
Yeah, it's a big hole in the ground, and Black Mambo. It hugs the terrain, and it's like just all the near miss elements. I think adds a lot to it. So
it's natural how a coaster uses natural setting as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
or natural to look natural.
Yeah.
But no, that's good, man. It's good. I'm really excited. I'm looking at, because I was on Twitter and I posted up me and Joe's trip that we've got for the next year that we've planned already, and then the drunk riders are trying to convince me to go meet them at one of their dates, and they're over in Europe, and they sent me the list, and Jesus, their list of parks they're hitting in that month for July would put a lot of us Brits to shame, considering we live so close to it. Like, I can't believe what the amount of parks they're doing is insane.
They are going all in.
Yeah, but Linnanmaki is on that list, and I'm tempted to maybe make
you should definitely
trip.
try and link up with them this summer.
Yeah, there's plenty of trips.
Wherever it might be, whatever park it might be.
There's plenty of trips on that list, but it's just choosing one that isn't ridiculous flights, because all the flights we've booked at the minute, we've been getting like £15 deals here, £30 deals there, and it's because we've not been tied down with the date with these like specific dates and stuff, so it's harder to get a flight out. But yeah. It looks
I managed to find super good Ryanair deals with for Belgium to go to Plopsaland. Found really good deals for to Helsinki as well. Like,
I can't believe some of the flights at the minute. It's like they're just begging you to go on the flight, aren't they?
Yeah,
very much.
But the
hands up if Mikhail is selling this coaster.
yeah, he is.
I just like to talk. Like, I don't know what, like, I like to talk about.
That's why we do a podcast.
Yeah. That's a good thing for being on a podcast, mate. But yeah, like I really like. There's a lot of cool stuff there. They've got a scenic railway there as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. It's really fun.
Has that still got an onboard brakeman or not? Is it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's really fun. There's one hill that fucks you up on it.
Is it? Yeah.
Time's great over it. But it's really fun. Really smooth. Enjoyed it. I'm gonna hang on. I'll get up RCDB because otherwise I'm gonna butcher some of these coaster names. But
was the Rapids open? Because the Rapids look so good.
Rapids was not open because it was super cold.
So cold.
It was really cold. I was dying.
I can't believe they've got a Rapids in the middle of all that. It's so insane. Like
it's kind of the Groneland effect they've got going on a little bit. It is just underneath loads of different coasters, which also like weave in and out of each other. Like Taron at Taiga goes over like two other coasters in the park.
Right, it's the reason I love Pleasure Beach so much is that it's just all on top of each other. So any park like that, I'm down for. Like, I just like it.
Yeah, it's a nice dynamic. I like it a lot, and it makes for good interaction between each ride as well. Like at one point in Taiga's stall, like a few times we rode Taiga a few times. Like through the stall, there'd be like the Mark powered coaster going underneath it, and like people on the train would look up at us and we'd look down at them. Which is pretty cool. But
just saying 13, we are gonna be talking about SW9 in a little bit. So if you've got like input like this, make sure you stick around and we'll talk about all the ideas everyone has in the chat about SW9. Yes. We're doing the topic, guys. We're doing it. We're doing the big old topic.
We'll get there. We'll get there. It's a secret. There was another roller coaster there called Tulireki, which is a Mark Rides e-motion coaster, and it's
that's the one they had in the dungeon, London. No, in Amsterdam dungeons, was it? Yeah, Amsterdam dungeons. They had.
Not tell you.
Yeah. When I went to Amsterdam dungeons, I was talking to someone who worked there, and they said that they, up until recently, when I did it a few years ago, they had a coaster in there, and I looked it up, and it was an e-motion coaster. They didn't build many of them, did they? No,
I think, if I remember correctly, that this one is one of two in the world, maybe.
Yeah.
Or used to be one of two. Now it's the only one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they didn't make many of these at all, and to be honest, for good reason.
Yeah, it looks junky as hell.
It's chunky as fuck.
It's so bad.
It was 2 in total. Tilleriki and one at Amsterdam Dungeon, which was Reaper Drop Ride to Doom.
Yeah. I mean that type of coaster. I've seen a POV of the one in Linnanmaki, and that type of coaster would be good probably inside, just because you've got things to distract you. It depends. It's when you take a coaster outside, it's unforgiving.
Well, it's like the thing is with this thing, it's like the design of the coaster itself is just weird. Like the chassis that the wheel bogies are attached to is nowhere near as long as the car train body itself. So and it's 3 rows of 2 seats. So if you're in the front or the back, like you get this funny ass bouncing like of the car itself, because the chassis is so much shorter than the train.
Is that the emotion though? Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah, it's an emotional roller coaster.
There it is.
Like I'm
cocky now.
Hannah, so Emma said Hannah and Mikey have done one at Amsterdam Dungeons. So that would have been a rare cred to get. That would have been cool doing a coaster inside the dungeons.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's a funny coaster. It's an entire meme. Like it's memeable as hell.
Anything cool there? Anything else?
There was a Mower rides spinning coaster called Salama, which was pretty fun. It's I don't think it wasn't quite as good as the likes of like Spinball Whizzer and Dragon's Fury for me, but it was good. I always enjoy Mower spinners. Like they're always fun. They're just fun. They're just fun to get on.
I miss Dragon's Fury so much.
Dragon's Fury is crazy.
Like, I mean, they're having some problems at the minute though. It seems like a lot of their they're having a lot of downtime on their rides, which is a shame to see. Hopefully they sort that out.
I got on my first Intamin Zack spin coaster called.
Oh, I've done one before. How was it?
It was fun as hell. I actually really liked it. Like I
didn't like it.
Did you know? Was it not? You're not a fan?
It just, for me, it was like
Intamin's.
It's basically a flat ride. Let's be honest. Like it.
So like.
To me, it feels like you're on a flat ride.
I see what you mean by that. It's weird because I've done an SNS. I've done an SNS 4D free spin at Six Flags Great Adventure before. I did not vibe with that at all. That was just weird. Like it just felt weird. This one, for whatever reason, it was just really fun. It was. I don't know if it was just because of it was a smaller model. I know there are bigger. There are bigger versions of that model out there, but this one was.
I did
Terra-Mythica?
Terra-Mythica Inferno.
Yeah, that's the one.
So that is, what model is that? So that is a Zaxpin 25 147, and the one at Linnanmaki is 20. Same one, same model, one. Exactly the same. Yeah. To be fair, it was a long time I did it, so I would do it again. I would try.
I'd like to do it again. I think because I
think Gronaland has a bigger version of it.
Interesting.
Their one called Insane. Gronaland Insane at Gronaland is
that's the bigger,
a 32-meter one.
2 foot,
32 meters.
So the ones we've done are 25. 25.
I'm interested to see how a bigger one would feel. I've heard mixed things, like it's not as enjoyable as the smaller one, or it can be even crazier than the smaller one. But yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that was the first one of those that I'd ever done. Which was fun. There is a Mower Ride Skyloop coaster there called Uko, which these can all just like get this can close down tomorrow for all I care, because it's just
for those weird. Watching, by the way, that's a Zack spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that looks like a new I don't know.
It's a weird looking contraption, but it's fun. I found it
they're one of
fun.
them rides that you can tell.
Strangest thing is the feeling when you're coming back down and you're going back into the station. You like kind of just hang there for ages and just kind of just lean forward.
Some of the riders I saw on them were like hitting the brakes because the brakes are like this, and they were hitting them like the car was completely upside down, and they were hitting the brakes.
Yeah. Oh god!
And it just spins
holy
slowly
shit.
as you come. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
very weird.
By the way, Bendy said, "McCall, it's wonderful meeting you at Pleasure Beach during the Easter weekend."
Oh, it's Ben.
Oh yeah, it's Ben. I did.
I think I met Ben.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was nice.
At opening weekend, I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I got to.
Yes, she did.
Speak to him a
Because
little bit. It was
I
nice.
think when he was hanging around with us.
You saw it. He said he saw you. Yeah. Yeah, nice guy. Yeah. So, what else you do, McCall?
I mean, there was a Mark Rides powered coaster there. There's an indoor coaster called Linnanmäki Extra. The extra was for when it ran with VR. I think it was, but they don't do that anymore. It's a coaster loose, like it's themed to space. Like it's all.
Is it inside a water tower, like an old water tower?
Yes, or
like a water tank type of thing.
Kind of, yeah. But that was fun. This is a super cute little Sierra Force. That one. My friend Auntie was telling me a lot about that coaster. He's operated a few of the coasters.
What was the beer selection like there? Did they sell beer on park and stuff, or did you not?
I actually didn't look too much.
Asking the important questions.
That's the important questions, and I'm gonna fail to deliver on them because I didn't really.
The reason I asked that is that them type of parks, like Grona Lund, Linnanmaki, like Tivoli Garden, like these are like, for me, I'm like, these are the ones where you can just you can chill,
you can just relax, have a relax,
go with, you know what I mean, and they're the perfect type of parks really to do that in. So I'm just interested in that. But yeah, because it'd be interesting to go to with Drunk Rider as well. The whole crew anyway.
It is that type of park who just it just never we weren't. I guess we just went on that vibe that this time. But Linnanmäki. I don't know what their alcohol selection is like, but if they do have one, it would be like Linnanmäki is that kind of park that it would be nice to just relax with friends and have a few drinks at. But that's about it really. Taiga is
Baz and Dad. You're allowed to have a drink and not get there. It's fine.
Where can I buy a beer at the children's charity?
There's nothing illegal about that. As I say, it's a drink.
But Taiga is absolutely the standout ride there. And I mean, the park is extremely small, comparatively speaking, but it's just interesting to think about where they would go next now that they have, such a high quality, modern roller coaster edition there.
It's like where would they fit it?
I mean, they had to take out an old water coaster there to fit it like on the hillside.
It sounds like this motion coaster could go. I don't know how much room that would necessarily free up, but we've seen what they can do. We've seen what B&M can do with Monster. We've seen what Matt can do with Icon. We've seen what Intamin can do with Taiga. Like they've managed to fit it everywhere. So it is possible. It is possible.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see where they go after this. But yeah,
right, cool. So shall we move on to
go out there, go ride Taiga.
Sold. Cool. So next up is make sure you don't get your phones out on rides, guys. Make sure you don't do that.
Don't do it. It's a fucking stupid thing to do. Just don't do it. Next.
Even on the lift hill.
Everywhere. Brake run. Even if you break down don't, because it's just you just don't do it. Just do what I do. When some people like to put the phone in the pocket, zip pocket, whatever. I just throw it in the bag, man. Like,
so now we know. Now we know to steal his bag. So keep an eye on Luke when he's
around the bag. Get the baggage. Off it goes.
There we go.
All good.
Yeah.
Although I do find it quite funny, it says no loose articles, but then when you ride Wickerman, they give you a keyring.
Yeah.
Is it?
I've thought about that actually. That is a loose article.
It is.
Is it a keyring?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
It's
like
they
a
do.
fat-
It's
attachment,
legit.
isn't it?
I was wondering if it was
yeah.
attached to the wrist, attached to a wristband.
No.
No, it is legit.
No, it's literally a keyring. Yeah.
That's the thing. I've never really used Wickerman's baggage, like, or if I have,
It's
it's
because
I've
usually
given
we
it to
have two
someone.
bags and we just go, there you go.
I've given it to someone, and
then we all have sense. So when we get given one, we find a way to put it in a secure, in like a zipped pocket or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a zipped pocket. I'm putting it in there. If I don't, I'm giving it to someone else to put in a zipped pocket.
I purposely bought joggers that have zip pockets.
We've had this conversation before where I said that, like, basically I brought so many different trousers with zip pockets in them. I felt the perfect trousers. It's like rule 101 if you become an enthusiast, like, invest in zip pockets. Like, you know you're enthusiast if every item clothes you look at, you're like, but has it got zip pockets? How's that?
See, the next level for me is contact lenses.
Oh yeah, Joe's on the same.
Which I'll be. I'm getting some for Germany. So
yeah, unless Joe did forget hers once when we went to Portaventura.
Just go full Uzi and get the glasses strap, dude. Like,
that's what Joe did.
No, I
Joe
did.
I
don't find them that comfortable. I'd rather
fair enough. Yeah.
They don't look comfortable, to be fair.
So I wanted to quickly talk about this just because it was like kind of infuriating but funny at the same time, because it was getting memed a lot on Twitter, which is inside the magic, obviously, or inside the clickbait as they're now known.
Inside the clickbait.
So I was only familiar with this site. I know it's like a massive site. I was well aware of them, and but I remember when we was like when we were researching for Florida, and this inside the magic kept coming up, and it was kind of like, you're probably in there at a minute, Luke, where you're looking at information on like Disney and stuff. You end up doing a lot of research, and inside the magic kept popping up on Google, but then all their articles were just useless. They were like 2 paragraphs. It had no information on it whatsoever. It was useless. So that's how I know inside the magic. But they've recently tried to start doing articles in the last 2 days on like the coast I guess general theme park. So the first one that came out was this article about Hershey Park, their coaster. What was it again? Sky Rush. Yeah, Sky Rush. Sorry. So everyone saw that this video like went round. It went round days ago of it getting stuck on the lift hill, and then the second car coming in to the station. And then their like headline was literally guests are nearly crushed to death on coaster, which, considering like what has happened recently with Icon Park and stuff, is very flipping insensitive to start with, but also just laughable.
Just
to claim that you're anything to do with theme parks, and then just like, but they've changed the title now. It's now Hershey Park Coaster Restarts, Lift Hill Courses Right to Stop. Obviously not as clickbaity. But I think the worst part about it was the fact that when they posted it on Twitter, Hershey Park replied saying, "You've got a lot of like misinformation here." Did a whole like paragraph saying, it's absolutely fine. No one got hurt. Basically, the coaster did what it needed to do. Basically, that it was fine. Yeah. It was absolutely fine. But then they deleted that tweet and then reposted it again. So Hershey's comments wasn't on it, and I was like, that is just so underhanded. Like, it's so bad. But yeah, it's mad. And then later on that day, it's the same author actually. It may have even gone now. But the headline was where is it now? Well, it's changed now anyway, I think. But the headline was theme park guests jump onto roller coaster to take a photo. That was the headline. You actually opened up the article, and it talked about Taylor Bybee from Coast Studios and Sarah basically on their media day taking a photo on it. And that's what's that? Oh, in there. But yeah, so they've changed the title of it now to add photo during media event. They didn't have that before. And the whole article talks about, in the past, we have covered the dangers of trespassing into areas that are not typically meant for guests, as it can not only pose as a danger to the guest in question, but also promote a dangerous activity to others. It goes on about ride safety and not trespassing. And then at the end of it, shows this picture and says, now it seems that the unfinished coasts of Air Force are becoming photo op for guests. So it's just so bad. It's so bad. And
probably going to come after us now. Podcast chat shit.
But it's really damaging. Like, if that was
breaking news, podcasts holds clickbaity journalist website accountable for own misguided actions.
Yeah,
I'll claim guilty to that right now.
We climbed on a track and we were dangerous with our words.
Yeah, but it's just a shame, because I saw a lot of people saying like they used to like this website like ages ago. I used to get all their trip information. It just seems like they've either been sold to a big company or something, because this is like the Sun level.
It's just lazy reporting.
Yeah,
lazy journalism, isn't it?
It's literally just an article for the sake of an article.
Yeah.
And yeah, they should just be held accountable a little bit. Like, this Twitter are first to like complain about absolutely everything imaginable. So aren't they just going on and holding these account
buckets? That's why no one kicked off.
Why they're coming into our community and doing all this annoying stuff. So don't know. I just thought it was worth mentioning. Worth mentioning there.
Cool.
So yeah,
we already covered that, Matt.
What was that?
Wait till they hear about someone getting a phone out on a coaster.
Oh yeah, I mean that's actual news though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't even need a clickbait title. It's just true. No. But so next up we have, where is it? We have Flamingo Land. Their new
don't you mean they're sick new coaster?
They're sick new coaster, man.
Fuck off with that.
So that hurt to say, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope it did.
I hope it did. Yeah.
So yeah, their new Intamin looping. What you even call it? Multiple inversion coaster. 10 inversion. That's it. 10 inversion. Yeah. I don't like to call it class as clone, but it basically is.
It's an Altair clone. Then.
Revision.
Yeah, well, it's a near clone. It's got a better drop.
Revision B 10 inversion coaster.
Yeah, it's an Altair.
Now, it's just better version.
Revision better.
It's got a better first drop, but it's got lap bars. There we go. But yeah, they keep
icon.
Yeah, it's got different supports. It's got different color supports. And
don't try and justify it. The supports are different shapes, guys.
But, like, honestly, in this country, like, all of our coasters are the same color. Like, why are we moaning that this is now the same color as Icon? Like, on all our coasters are the same color. Yeah. They're all just dark colors. So,
well, that's just because they can't look after them. They're not really dark. They were nice.
They're not meant to be
shiny.
Dark. They're just dirty.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's dirty. Smiler's repainted itself 400 times.
Yeah, the Smiler's damn near green by now. Like,
yeah, like it is just tree sap green. It's go away green
because of the rust.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
that's aging?
Can you imagine they jet wash Swarm and it was actually blue this whole time?
Grey blue.
Can you imagine?
Literally the color of Sean's Twitter background.
But yeah, this
mean,
is what I was
yeah.
talking about. So
it's the McDonald's
this is
colours.
Flamingo's first acknowledgement, I think. Really, actually, no, second acknowledgement that the coast exists. Which is,
Let me
do
see
you
if I
love
can
it
find
or
this
does
tweet
it
again, 'cause I
make you
just see it.
sick? What was that, McCall?
I was just let me see if I can find this tweet because I did see it, but I found it. Yeah.
But it says sick, ISIK. So people are wondering, is that kind of hint at the name of it? So loads of people have been saying, oh, it could be like this clothing brand called Sick that I've never heard of. Like I've never heard of it.
It's not a clothing brand.
I've seen it. It looks shite.
It's not.
It can't be this. It can't be
not a
this because
clothing
these.
brand.
It's not this one because it's
No.
150 foot. Like they're not.
No, I think there's a
No.
website which is Sick
Not
Silk
sponsored.
or Silk Sick clothing.
Something like. Hang on.
It's not going to be a clothing brand coaster. It's going to be a Jubilee themed thing.
Well, someone did
I
put,
don't see how it can be Jubilee. With
someone
that
did
colour
put
scheme. Why would it
Jubilee
be that colour?
inversion.
It has
presented by
always
Sick
had.
Silk.
It always has had the Union Jack. So even
That is
on the
true.
old map, the cars had the Union Jack, and we were all joking about on the Coaster show back in the day. Was that it's basically Icon and the big ones color schemes because it had the Union Jack trains with Icon's colors. So I feel
Maybe
like
there's something else I was
Oh God, don't want to do that.
oh
You
the
made
multiverse of
infinite-
madness.
Yeah.
We
So yeah, this is the one that everyone's thinking it could be.
Nah.
And I mean they actually do have some
Nah.
Sick Silk. I'd so laugh if this is it now.
It's not. Is that messy?
That's messy.
Yeah, that's Lionel Messi.
Definitely not going to be that.
Well, it means they've got money. It means they've got flipping money if they've got Messi.
Why
in
would
it.
they sponsor a ride at Flamingo Land?
Why would
'Cause-
any clothing company sponsor a ride anywhere?
There's got to be a
Come on,
clothing brand.
man.
Icon.
It's not happening. I'm nah. Never.
Are we shutting this idea down? That's
I'm
like
shutting it
that's
down.
like being at Flamingo Land.
Oh my god.
They're the mascots of the ride.
Fair. But nah, seriously though, this ain't fucking happening. It ain't
I've-
happening. It's
I've
just gonna
fucking
be a
hope-
coaster,
I
calling
really
and
really
it's gonna
hope
have
I
Jubilee
you know what?
trains.
I've seen little hints at this, and people say making this link, but I don't know where this has come from. I feel like one person has said it, and everyone's like jumping on board of it. But I think they might just call it Sick. But surely you wouldn't call a coaster Sick. Surely that's the opposite of what you want to call a coaster.
Absolutely.
Like, shall we go on Sick?
That's what it should be called.
Peach Fanta
Peach Fan
Ultra Fizzy
Coaster.
Yeah.
Shall we go
Let's
on
go with
sick
that.
and then be sick after it? You don't want. You don't.
Oh,
want,
have you heard of
you
that
don't want
sick
people
new coaster?
That
Sick.
makes you sick, and because it goes upside down 10 times. Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very interesting what this is going to be.
Oh, apparently Sick Silk have liked Flamingo Land's tweet.
Oh!
Fuck off.
No
Matt,
need to
really?
Wait, let me.
I'm going for it.
Matt,
for
no.
They
it.
fucking
Yeah.
have as well.
Yeah, we're
they
looking
have.
now.
Yep, they're right there.
Where?
Oh,
Oh,
dear.
like on
Just
that
look at-
one I was looking.
I'm
at,
out.
or-
Yeah. Looks done for the evening.
Seriously, what the fuck?
Yep, they are.
Yep, they're right there.
You have a zoo. Why don't you call it an animal? Like, it's in
Can we
front of
chill
you.
out?
Maybe
I
it's
still-
innocent. Maybe the
I still wanna
social
go
media
eat
manager.
it
Why?
down.
No.
Just
Why
saying
would
that.
a
Oh, that's like
random
our name.
clothing company
And just
like that?
I can't see this. Like,
It is there.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I'll share it.
Oh, I've seen it.
There they are, right there.
Sick Silk, the ride.
It's happening, guys.
It's happening!
Everybody, calm down.
Tom,
take off.
Tom
What's the
makes a
procedure?
Tom makes a somewhat valid point actually. Like, there's obviously the hashtag like me coaster at Plopsaland, isn't there?
But that's a TV show, isn't it?
but it's just like
what? Yeah, but every
Maybe
coaster except for Ride of Happiness is after that Studio 100 TV show, so that makes sense. It doesn't make sense inside a park that has 0 IPs and then just have
absolutely nothing to do with like
I
anything
genuinely,
else
with
in the
that information of that,
I just saw someone's tweet. I just saw someone's tweet. It said, "Actually, thought that was Icon on that picture from Flamingo Land."
I'm not surprised.
Well, it does look like Icon because
like,
it's the same.
It was the same tri-tube track style.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Light grey and dark grey.
No, but have you? Yeah, but I don't know, man. I might be in the minority here, or I might be just trying to get media pass tickets. But
I don't want either. I don't want to be either.
No, for real. I hate the idea of it being an IP, but when I saw the whole coaster, like I did think it looked pretty good. And I mean, I've been pretty vocal over the years of I actually like Colossus. I think it's a great layout. The trains hold it down, but we have these new lap bar restraints. Got a better first drop. I'm genuinely excited for the coaster.
Yeah. Just not excited for everything else that comes.
It's going to be fun. Like regardless of what memeable name they come up with, like it's going to be a fun ride. Like it's going to accomplish what it's out what they set out to accomplish with it.
What, to stick a label on it and call it sick?
No, to be a fun ride for people.
I don't care about that. I don't think they care about how people feel about it. They've built it. It's finally going to open. That thing's been cursed for the last fucking 9 million years. Like fucking Rita Repulsa in Power Rangers when they pulled that thing. Oh, finally.
I'm not opposed to any like this is what I said at the start of the show before we went on. I was like, I could understand if they went for an IP because they've probably lost a lot of money through COVID. They're a small park. They're like, are they family owned? Or... Yeah, no. I'm not actually sure. They're not a big. They haven't got pockets full of money anyway. So I was like, I could understand them going from an IP to offset the costs that as like. That's cost them so much money, but going with a clothing brand like Sick is just weird, man. I just don't get it. Like, it's gonna be like what's it called? Tomorrowland. What, Happiness, where you go into the gift shop and then there's loads of Tomorrowland merch that's nothing to do with the coaster.
Oh, fuck off! It is as well, in it.
Do you know what? That completely explains because
imagine how expensive it's gonna be as well because it's silk clothing.
I'll try and find a photo.
How are we validating this move more and more with every sentence?
We're not.
I'm not validating it. Who's validating?
Let's see.
No. I'm saying how are we making it? How are we? Somehow making this make sense?
Yeah, we are.
You know what? Actually, not as expensive as I thought they would be. Just saying that. However, it is on sale at the moment. So
this is mad. I've never heard of it, but they've got Messi like advertising.
Yeah, imagine if Messi opens the ride.
I've heard of the brand before. It's not the one I was. It's not the other one I was thinking about. But I've heard of this brand.
Six Silk. Wait,
before.
Six. I can't. Right,
Six Silk
HQ is 20 miles from Flamingo Land.
Oh my god!
What's
this
happened
is
there?
Into a Netflix documentary conspiracy theory.
I'm just seeing the logic behind it more and more. I don't want to.
What's happened here is that someone's cousin's brother who works at Flamingo Land has a cousin who works at Six Silk and is like, oh, do you want to
got a job in the warehouse and they found something with Flamingo Land written on it.
I can't find any photos, but I was watching.
Yeah, it's on the outskirts of Scarborough.
I don't know what.
Fucking hell, man.
I don't know what video I was watching, but I was watching a video and it's got. You can see like the front of the station where where the lift hill's coming out of, and the bottom of it is all glass doors. And it kind of looked really bizarre that it was like, okay, it's just all glass at the front. But it would make sense if that's...
Which ride are you talking about? You talking about this?
Yeah. The coaster we're talking about. Okay.
No. I didn't hear if you tangented onto something else or something.
No, it's got glass at the front of it, but the more I think about it now, is that looks like a shop. Like it looks like an actual like clothing shop.
Right.
Yeah. So Retail I'm thinking, the ride.
Yeah, it's going to be like a massive clothing shop.
So
that's how it's being sponsored.
Trends for UK coasters at the moment. Icon, which is fancy toilets.
Yeah.
Sick, which is just going to be a clothes shop.
Yeah.
Exodus, we don't know what it's going to be, and Chessington are building a B&M.
No, this is it. No, this is. I think it's going to be sponsored by them, and the reason they sponsored it is they're going to have this massive shop, which is the gift shop, but it's going to be a big shop in there that sells their clothing, and that's how they're going to justify putting money towards it.
And it's going to stay open when the park closes, so people who stay over can buy things.
I hate that this makes sense.
Sports Direct the ride.
But yeah, there we go.
Like
world's first 10 looping coaster into a clothing shop.
To a clothing shop. There's got to be another one, surely.
Matt said this holds more weight to it than the Drayton Batman clone.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd be so up for that though. That'd be so cool.
Of course, I'd be up for it. I'd be able to see it from my window.
Well, but you'd have a Batman clone 20 minutes from your house.
Mate, that'd be sick. That'd be so good. Oh, come on, Drayton, get something. Get some coaster. I just want something, man.
Don't lose Sports Direct will be next.
Yeah, he literally will.
Yeah.
When's Primark? Cool. So that's sick. The ride.
Primark coaster.
H&M the teacups. Like Dunelm Mill.
Mate, I can't believe there's going to be a coaster called Sick the Ride. Like,
they should have called it B&M Bargains. Just
everyone's just going to call it. Everyone's going to call it Sick the Ride, aren't they? Let's go and Sick the Ride. Of course,
so.
I'm going to call it.
We're just waiting patiently for JD Sports, the Dark Ride experience now.
Wasn't that X not out?
Matt Clay's got a prediction here for Exodus.
Yeah.
Matt Clay's Exodus prediction. Exodus Godzilla, calling it now. New Godzilla film out in 2024. Monster comes out of the water explaining the splash effects. There's quite a lot more little nods if you look into it. That's
I like that idea. As the low cost coaster.
Oh my god.
Rolling back. Rolling back the price.
It's a shuttle coaster. It has a rollback.
It has it. There it is. Rollback.
I don't know, man. I think Godzilla's a strange one because there's been so many Godzilla films, and then they're never like a lasting. They're never a lasting.
The last one was good. I enjoyed the last one.
It was good, but if there was the last one was good, but if there was still a ride in the park called Godzilla, you'd be like, "What the? This is outdated as hell."
Yeah,
like they don't. There's no lasting.
Angry Birds Land.
Yeah, that's weird. But
they literally done their own area called Amity.
But also with Angry Birds, it's always got that feeling of like I bet someone's still playing Angry Birds. Do you know what I mean? Like I bet it's still relevant somewhere.
Going from CEX, it's still got Angry Birds on it. It's
like there's still someone out there.
Yeah,
I guarantee you there's someone out there with a crazy frog ringtone going.
Chessington getting Jumanji.
I wonder.
Jumanji's relevant though.
Jumanji makes sense.
They've done enough like
Merlin
films
have
now
done
to have that lasting thing really.
But
Godzilla's never been like a trilogy type of. Was it? I think it was a trilogy at one point.
It is, but it kind of doesn't. It's always felt like a reboot every time you watch it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Saw still relevant to this day. I don't know why, but it's just everyone knows Saw. It's kind of like genre changing in a way. So it's a weird one to go with.
Gemma, are you the one that still plays Angry Birds? It's you, isn't it?
The one.
Oh my God, yeah, I was so right. I was so right.
Do you remember Flappy Birds?
Yeah, that was actually good.
It was good, but then they got rid of it, and then people were selling iPhones for like thousands of pounds with it on eBay because you couldn't get it.
But then loads of people just made a copy.
Yeah, loads of people just made it. It's just on Unreal Engine and were like 2D scroller. There we go.
Oh, Gemma still plays it. Fair enough. I'm not hating on it at all. You're proving my point.
I'm curious to see what Angry Birds is like now. I bet it's just like mental.
I might download that again.
But Angry
Watch us all tonight playing Angry Birds.
What's your best score, mate?
Angry Birds is like Snake, isn't it? Like I bet people still like go, to the kids like playing that. It's still got a lasting thing on it.
Do you remember fucking Temple Run when people would run up like fucking 20 million or some bullshit like that?
I forgot about Temple.
I could barely get past 1 million. I'm like, how the fuck are you doing this?
Yeah,
it's proper addictive, though, isn't it? That game is. Yeah.
So we've just talking about that, we've just kind of gone off on one, and no one gives a shit about the coaster anymore. We just care about memeing it to fuck. That's what I take away from Flamingo Land's new ride.
Sick the ride coming soon to Flamingo Land.
Oh yeah, someone said I'm looking forward to all of Sam Costello's sick puns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, you better believe that.
If Exodus is Godzilla, can Slammer get replaced with the King Kong themed ride?
Yes, why not?
No, just fix Slammer.
That one. Fix
right.
Slammer, though. Anyway,
we got to move on. Got to move on.
Slammer needs its own episode, man.
Right, so I'm gonna skip over that. So, it's pronounced Phoenix, right? At Farup Sommerland, or is it Fonix? I never know.
I do not know. And I don't want to attempt to offend somebody. Yeah. But
just say both.
I feel like
correct us in the comments.
Fonix than Phoenix,
it opened up last month, and we didn't really have chance to talk through it, but it looks really interesting coaster actually. It's Vekoma's
really like the layout on it.
Yeah, the layout looks really good. It's Vekoma's first model of a Wildcat. I don't know. Does anyone know what makes this like different to a Bermuda Blitz? What is the key difference here? Because it looks like the same.
You mean
really like a different layout?
Yeah.
What outside the fact? What? Go on.
I was just gonna. Are you talking about something else other than it just being a different layout, or like because it is just?
Well, no, because obviously it's not the Wildcat does not describe the layout of it. It's the model. Isn't
I mean, none of them do. They're all the same coaster model. They're just the layouts have different names.
Is that how it is? I didn't know that.
Like Abyssus is the Shockwave Plus, and it's only called Shockwave Plus because it has a second launch in it. There's one out in China, out in a park in China.
So every layout they make, they're gonna. I thought it was just like a different type of, like how Intamin has a Blitz, and then
it's the same. Yeah, no, it's the same coaster model, just different layouts with different names. Like the Formula at Energylandia. That layout is called the Space Warp, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's called the Space Warp, and then there's another one called the Firestorm. There's another one called the Hyperspace Warp, which is just a space warp but with a lift hill. They all just have different names. They all just have different layout names, but the model is the same. It's still the same sit down coaster model.
So what's the model called?
All
I can find is other on RCTV.
It's got
That's
a weird,
confusing me because you'd have normally.
It's got a weird code name to it. I think it's MK1101. I think is what it is.
So
you got custom MK700, custom MK900, so it might be.
Yeah.
And then, but I just thought like when you would, like I'm so crap with like model names and stuff, but I just thought it like normally you would have the name of the model would be in another one, and then you'd have a code for like the layout. Like,
yeah, they've done it a bit. They've done it a bit different with this specific because like I don't hear of the STs, like the suspended thrill coast, like the new STC, like Halzuber Kopf and like the other SFCs and stuff. I don't hear of those having different layout names for every different layout that they've put out for those. I think it just seems
like a weird way. Who else does that? Yeah, because I'm like, how many names you got to come up with every time you make a flipping layout?
Literally, literally, they come out with a new one all the time. I'm like, how many different layout names are they going to come up with?
It makes sense. Like Intel with the CPUs, they have like 500 characters per one name of the CPU. GPU. It's ridiculous.
To me though, codes make more sense because you can just just add a number onto it or something. Whereas you've got to sit there.
There it is.
You know, it's like you can understand it with like the Sierra Force kiddie coasters and stuff where you just like Force 0, Force 1, Force 2.
Yeah,
that makes sense because you're only going to make so many of them. But
looking at their sit down thrill coasters category, you got Spacewalk Launch Coaster, which is literally a design of a coaster. You got Hyperspace Warp, Bermuda Blitz, and Top Gun Launch Coaster.
Benjamin,
there's Top Gun as well.
That's what they've got on their website at the moment. So they're literally they don't actually have the name for that model. It is just
I think it's just
they're kind of like they're kind of like okay, Wildcat, which is Phoenix. That is a standalone model basically. That seems like this is if you want to buy the Wildcat, this is what you get, sort of thing.
Is it kind of like how I watched Sam's video on Spinball? Like that was a custom model of the 3000 model, but it was a custom. No one else has had the model, but you can actually buy it.
But it's exactly the same layout. It's just because there was because it went from traveling to, I think it was because it's not traveling, they just called it something else. But then the Spinball model just never sold anyway.
Yeah, it's 3000 to 2000.
Yeah. Because I remember talking to Sam and he was like trying to work out for ages why it's a different model number, and in the end it was just because it's not.
He also has a fear of being a pinball. Like I figured that out from that video.
Yeah, it's so funny. That's
so
here we go. Here's Fonix then. No, Phoenix. It's Phoenix. Is it Phoenix?
I think it's Phoenix.
I think it's Phoenix. I keep saying Fonix.
There's
too many Phoenix coasters.
It's like Gerst for the Infinity Coaster. You can buy the Smiler's layout.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Well, you can buy Taron. You can buy Taron. Like, and the people
they have bought Taron.
Yeah.
China evidently did.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
But it's not called. But it's that they don't just call. But it's like it's
a
buy the layout
instead.
Model number. So
I don't.
But anyway, here we are. Here's Phoenix. It's
a lot of the time they'll get it custom designed, and then the manufacturer will then can make it available as just a model that you can buy.
Oof, that looks fun.
This is great podcast listening. This ASMR is going.
Yeah.
Watch the video. 8 p.m. every Wednesday on YouTube. Nah, it looks sick.
Fly through the station is just mental.
I can't say that anymore about a coaster.
It's just like this one looks really good in like the same vein as Lek Coaster. Because it looks like the transitions. It looks like it still has that same new sort of super, maybe a little bit overly refined Vekoma design language, but the specific elements on this look a bit more snappy than some of the others do. So like I think I mean I've said it before, like I don't put these Vekoma sit downs on the same level as like the Mach multi launches or the Intamin multi launches.
Is it because they don't have the force? Is it an issue? Well, not an issue. I won't say an issue. It's just different. But is it?
Because for me personally, it's because the design language of just the transitions themselves, the two, they're a bit more predictable than Mach and Intamin's kind of design languages. Like Luke, me and you have sat down and literally analyzed the transitions on Maverick before, right?
Yeah, we have.
The way it moves, the way it does certain things. These new Vekomas don't move
as well.
Yeah, these new Vekomas don't move in the same way. Like they're much more. They ease into transitions more so than these new Intamin multi launches do,
right?
And like the same kind of design language you see on the Intamins, you see on RMCs as well. And like the Vekomas, it's real nuanced kind of details in the design language that just makes the ride experience just like a bit more predictable, a bit smoother. And
I mean, someone said earlier in the chat, Mikhail, that you should be a sales rep for Intamin. I definitely agree.
That was me saying it.
I'm just an.
Yeah,
it was James who said that. I'm just.
He'll sell it.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you all the way.
Can I
yeah,
pull up
like
comments?
don't get me wrong, they are fun, and I mean, like, having ridden Formula in Abyssus, like, I can actually say with anecdotal evidence now, like
and in 2 weeks,
so
I'll be able to comment on it as well.
We'll circle back to
Energy Land, yeah.
Anyway, just to stop this conversation.
I wish James Larson was in the chat to join in.
Go on, Luke. Without wanting to derail so yeah, Matt's saying, without wanting to derail this conversation, I've done some more digging, and Six Silk actually supply the Flamingo Land staff uniforms. Whoa!
Confirmed.
Matt's been doing some major digging. How have you found that out? I want to know how you found this out.
I saw the same thing on.
He works for Six.
Website.
Mate, James, Matt's coming for your position as Chain Dog's elf, mate.
I mean, yeah, sure. Your digging is better than mine. Mine consists of RCDB, so if RCDB...
Not had anybody say that, ever.
Your digging is better than mine.
Yeah.
So, I can't wait until we're all wearing Sick Silk. Is it Silk?
Sick Silk
merch, man.
Sick merch. They don't even have to rebrand to like make it merch because it is just called Sick, so they can just have the clothing brand.
I'll be sitting. We'll all be sitting here with sick caps, going, guys, Sick is just so sick, man. You don't understand how sick it is. So, guys, today you can buy. There's a link in the chat.
I'm calling it next.
For our sponsor.
I'm calling it. Next Hypercoaster we get is going to be sponsored by Hype.
Hype? Is that a clothing?
Oh
yeah!
Get out! You're off the show. You're off the fucking show.
Every Boots Christmas gift set you will ever find. Hype.
Oh wow!
Funny thing is, these glasses are actually
Hype glasses.
I put out a tweet the other day about them caps everyone's wearing, icon hats. That is like a completely unrelated like clothing brand, and every time I see it, I think it's icon merch for some reason. Have you seen these? I sound like a comedian.
Yeah.
Have you seen these?
I know which cap you're on about. Yeah.
Like I don't even understand. I don't even understand like why these. I keep seeing them everywhere, and I don't understand like why they're a thing.
That does look like icon merch.
It does a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So for ages, I was seeing it, and I was like, "Oh, is that an icon cap? Is that an icon cap?"
Not sponsored yet.
So
we're going to be to you guys next year.
Thought Park and Hoodrich. Oh,
Hoodrich.
Use offer code Chain Dog to save 20% off Sick clothing.
I'm trying.
I'm hoping
I'm trying to hold back the recoil.
I'm hoping that Exodus is going to become Off-White the ride. The Chain Dog Sick podcast, bro.
Mate, Off-White. A shirt would cost you over £100.
I know, yeah. They could actually afford to sponsor a ride there.
I feel like Super Dry would just be ironic.
Super Dry, yeah.
Super Dry the ride. Just open an outlet next to FARP. What's next?
Yeah, what? Okay, right.
SW9, let's go.
Emma said
I'm going probably need to get on that.
Emma said I'm going dressed head to toe in Sick Silk for opening day. Like Emma, you do that and have Carl do a photo shoot for you.
Yeah, because we're all going dressed as Vikings for Valhalla.
You might be able to get on first. So... If you're dressed in all Sick Silk, they might think you're part of the team.
Yeah, lanyard, you'd be fine.
That'd be a good vlog, wouldn't it? Sneaking into media past day. Because it literally, I reckon, if it is that, then their opening day will just be full of like. It could be messy, man. It could be messy.
Messy's not
it'll just
open this
it'll just be like.
Messi, you might come into Yorkshire, lad, and opening this coaster, please. Cheers, pal.
Like he's got nothing better to do with his time.
Oh, but no, who was it?
He signs with Manchester City and then goes and opens that. Like that is part of his deal.
Who was it? Was that male model? Was that a male model who got hit in the face with a flipping bird on that?
Bird
coaster?
on formerly Redfall.
Fabio
Yeah, that-
on Apollo's chariot.
I think it
Apollo's
was,
chariot. Yeah,
Oh,
Apollo's
oh,
chariot.
yeah.
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 Because
Hey,
that
Ben.
was, oh my god, that was mental. We could have another. We could have Messi getting hit by a seagull at Flamingo Land. Could you imagine?
Imagine. A Whitby brawn and bred fucking seagull just twats Messi in the face and ends his career.
Yeah,
Or his head to-
you know the
toe
seagull. You know the seagull's getting out that unscarred.
He was a fucking
seagull will be
shit.
fucking head. Like,
The seagull.
Seagull fucking
Messi outside the ride with a flat cap and a whippet. Come on, Darius, you ain't gonna stick this. Oh wait. We gotta get
Yorkshire.
Jumped at Dales. We've got a sick coaster.
Oh, what's this podcast become, man?
Oh man, it's become food
Oh,
and
Jesus
taking the piss
Christ,
out of
man.
Yeah.
food in Yorkshire.
SW9. So where does everyone think it's gonna go?
No. I've got another thing to. We've got to talk about Nick Varney.
I was about to say
right?
we haven't finished the news yet.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Same news.
Right, okay. So Nick Varney is obviously stepping payments after 23 years.
Crikey.
So obviously a lot of people know, especially if you're familiar with Towers Past, and also like you've read John Wardley's Create My Own Nemesis. Nick Varney played a massive role in the UK theme industry. Huge. Well, you could argue worldwide, because Nemesis was a massive coaster for everywhere.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I mean, everyone knows that age-old story. Nick Varney was marketing. John Wardley was head of creating this new coaster that was going to be called Nemesis, and that has that famous story of them in the marketing office drinking a bottle of Southern Comfort and coming up with a name, Nemesis. So that's how far like his career stretched back to, because he left. Obviously, he left Two Swords. Started up, I can't remember the name of the company, but it basically went on to become Merlin, that he then become CEO of, that then bought up Alton Towers and Thorpe Park and, everywhere really. So it's a massive deal, really. It's a massive deal. He's been, as far as we can remember, he's been the guy in charge, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I hope. Do you know what? I hope he does a book similar to like the way John did.
Yeah,
that'd be a fucking interesting read. Definitely.
I'd love to hear some of the stories behind some of our coasters. Some things that we just have no idea about. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, but I think I mean one of the big things is, I mean, he was, as far as I know, he was responsible for making Merlin private again, because they were hemorrhaging money, and he made that decision, and that's been, we can tell with all the investments going into all the parks recently, was a really good move.
Yeah.
So that move alone has been huge for them to then hopefully, like we're starting to see, the fact that baggage hold is open means we know there's investment going in.
Baggage is open.
Baggage
Towers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Swarms one still isn't open.
But Thorpe are getting a brand new coaster, which when did we think that was going to happen anytime soon?
No.
They're going, instead of going for baggage hold, they're going for coaster, I suppose.
Chester's potentially getting a B&M. Like,
Man,
that's mental.
excuse me. What?
Potentially. I mean, potentially.
Haven't they got like footers going down now?
B&M footers.
They have. Yeah. But so I just thought it'd be cool it'd be nice to mention that. I'm looking forward to seeing who takes over. I think it's always good when a company has fresh new eyes. Could we be seeing a complete change in the way that Merlin go about doing everything? It could be completely different. I don't know. I'm not that like, I don't know about business that much to know how much creative control a CEO has over like all these individual projects. In my mind, it's like, you've got so many different channels that go through. Yeah, but we'll have to see, won't we? Really,
they'll have some sort of influence, no matter what project it is. If they'll have some say, and that say a lot of people will take to heart. So that will channel down to the people who are doing these things and stuff. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking
provided good leadership is established from the top.
Yeah, true.
It depend very much on just the type of, because we all know how much in terms of quality, like how much quality can vary. Fucking hell, man! Like how far down this rabbit hole?
Matt, you need to make a YouTube video. You need to make a YouTube video about it.
But, Stadium.
I'm not.
That's a good link.
Off this. Yeah, we know how much the quality of leadership from the CEO level can vary at different companies. So
yes, absolutely.
I mean, look at the difference between. This is a really obvious example here, but look at the difference from Bob Iger to Bob Chapek now. There's been a massive turn. And for me, I think it's been for the worse, personally. What we've been seeing lately, I think it is honestly the worst. It's hard to tell because obviously COVID's happened and stuff, but
yes,
it just feels different. It feels different with him in control. So we can just see there from a company as big as Disney of like how much influence that can have over it. And obviously all the stuff with like we've seen it with SeaWorld, haven't we, as well? Was it SeaWorld? Yeah.
SeaWorld changed CEOs every 20 minutes, man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like that they've really struggled with
CEOs that they build palm trees.
Yeah. Like the leadership situation over there is as volatile. It's about as volatile as it can get. Like and it shows.
That's the thing. A lot of people forget. Like we're talking about the coasters and the end product. Like the amount of people involved in this shit, man. Like can't even comprehend. It's like when you watch a film and you see the credits. It's like there's a reason the credits are like 10 minutes long. Like if you was to see a credits for a coaster, it would be ridiculous. Like it would be insane.
Of course.
So it's like we always single out one or two people with these things, but you've got to remember there's a whole team. And you know what? John Wadley always said that. No matter what interview he did, no matter what
he's always said that.
Him and the team. It's never just him.
He almost doesn't like being credited.
No, he doesn't.
Us looking up to him as some kind of like hero in a way, because he every time like he answers the question, he's like, it is a whole team. It's
a whole team. It's not just me.
And there's a lot of people. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of people that people look up to in places like Universal and stuff who credit like single people as like they are the creator of that ride, and it's like. And some of these people like take it on and be like, yes, thank you. And it's I want some more of this humility sometimes of like, no,
for sure.
I think it is important to do
that. It's never just one person.
No, it's always a team.
It's huge teams. Huge.
Well,
teams.
I mean, not even it's hardly ever just one team. It's a like it's
it's like multiple
a bunch of teams in collaboration with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're about to come on to SW now in predictions. But first of all, Bradley said SW9 Carter's Steam Fair in the law, which great segue into my last topic, which is something I really want to talk about because Carter's Steam Fair, if you didn't know, they're a traveling fair. They're the oldest, like have some of the oldest rides in the world there. It was started by, I can't remember the guy's name now, but it's Joby Carter who owns it at the minute, his dad, hence why it's called Carter's Steam Fair. But they just got all these rides, and you've got to go to one. You've got to go to a Carter's Steam Fair to understand like how amazing this fair is, because not only are they proper steam rides, most of them are anyway, steam powered. The upkeep of them are spotless. So Joby Carter is. I used to do a bit of work in the sign industry, and Joby Carter in the sign industry is renowned as one of the best kind of hand painted sign makers in the world, sign artists in the world. Literally everything is done by hand. So all over their rides is all painted by hand, and he does courses. He's amazing. He really is. He's got books on it.
What I've seen photos wise of it, man, everything looks absolutely pristine. Everything looks brand new. Like and it's can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
My mic's just playing. I can't hear myself. That's weird. Anyway, but yeah, he they announced the other week anyway that they this year is going to be their last year of touring. They are selling the fair, hopefully to someone who will give it a permanent home. And he did a live stream where he cited a lot of different reasons, but the main reason is like the increase in like fuel. Like
I can imagine
just killing it. Like they go all over the country. They mainly stick to the south, but they come to Lichfield. It's the furthest north they come,
right?
Really,
that's why I have to go then.
South. Yeah, but if you can do it, you can do it in a drayton trip. Do you know what I mean? They'll be here in the summer, but it's 100% worth it. Most of the time, they always put on a free fireworks show as well after the fair's done as well. It's such a good fair. So it's a major shame that they're not touring anymore, because they are proper authentic. It feels like you're back in like the 50s. It's amazing. Like all the music is like 50s. They've got all these vintage cars everywhere that they've all done up themselves. All the show wagons that they live in are like proper old like wagons and stuff. It's amazing. So hopefully someone takes it over that gives it enough attention, because them rides are like they're hard to mend, you know, upkeep. Not many people know how to do it, so it's going to be a tricky one. So
that's not a bad shout from Baz and Coaster's dad.
Oh yeah,
I think Beamish are the people to take it. They already have a small steam fair and a massive field in a Victorian town to take it. I'll be completely honest. I don't know much about Carter Steam Fair at all. But
no, all I've seen it from is. Did you do a vlog there, Sean?
Yeah, I've got a vlog. Go check out my vlog. Yeah, little cheeky plug there, but go check out my vlog if you're not.
Parksville on YouTube.
Parksville on YouTube. It's really, really good. And it's like when you go there as well, you pay for like per ride.
Okay.
But you get proper like metal tokens. It's so cool. It's like everything is thought about, like down to the last bit. It's proper good. It's really, really nice. And luckily, if you go there and they've got the dive bomber, oh my god, that's the scariest ride you'll ever do. Let me just show you this dive bomber.
I'm interested in seeing this.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Victory dive bomber. So let me show this.
Podcast listeners, you need to watch the video. What the heck? Look at the painting and the mural.
Yeah, everything is hand done. That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
Like the detail of everything.
Holy shit! I just saw the thumbnail for that. That just moved. What?
This is the most insane thing you'll ever do, because this ride is so old.
I've seen these before. Yeah, they do.
It's Enzo. No,
it goes mega fast, man. It's the most. It's so forceful. It's honestly, it's mental. Doesn't look that crazy, but when you're in it,
I can imagine that feels crazy when you're in it.
You're on a bench. You're not even strapped in. You're on a bench, and that's it. Like,
and it goes upside down.
Yeah, it spins around.
Is it free? Are they free spinning? Like, will it
I
depend
don't
on weight distribution?
I don't actually know. There's got some crazy mechanics going on. That's what I love going there, is because you can look at the rides and you can see the mechanics that is going on inside the ride as well. But yeah,
that looks fucking nuts.
You need to do it if you haven't done it. And the steam.
There's a POV there.
Yeah, whack that on.
Let's just have a quick look at this. I'm interested. Oh, nice. Theme Park Vision Art. Check out it's some awesome drawings and artwork.
Dude, he is unfathomably talented.
Yeah, he's great.
So
he's great.
Good. Right, here we go.
He's incredible.
So you literally hold on. That's it.
Another reason that they decided for the fact that they have to like kind of set up is that they don't. There's a little seat belt, but it's hardly a restraint.
Looked like it came to drop down onto him.
What's that?
There's a bar
inside there.
Went down.
No, it's like a little leather strap. Is that a lap bar? I can't remember that being there, but anyway, they have. Oh yeah, no, I do remember that lap bar, but it's one of them lap bars that like doesn't touch you, so you're kind of like it doesn't really keep you in place, if I'm honest. But it doesn't matter because it's physics at the end of the day, doesn't it? It keeps you there anyway. But you're falling around, you're sliding around.
I want to stick upside down.
This is actually this is the Litchfield one as well, I think.
Yeah, I think it will be because Theme Park Vision goes to Drayton a lot.
Yeah, that's the back of the houses in Litchfield Beacon Park.
Whoa.
But yeah,
what the hell?
Just for the podcast listeners.
Whoa.
That's disorientating.
It's mental. It's the craziest thing you'll ever do.
Wow.
Well, not the craziest thing you'll ever do. One of them.
That looks nuts.
It's nuts. But yeah, another thing he was mentioning was that they don't travel around with like their whole team. It's basically the people who can just look after the ride. So every time they go to a town, they have to recruit people in to like manage the fair, like employ people on a short-term basis. And they've just been saying, like with COVID and stuff and loads, like every industry, find it so hard to recruit people. They just can't find the people to like come and to employ the right people anyway. So it's another
too many jobs.
That's just the way it is. So that's another. So yeah, but there we go. So on to the main topic, which is SW9, baby. Let's go.
What's it going to be, lads?
Let's go. What's it going to be?
Intamin Blitz in Intamin Forest.
Done.
Sign it off. It's done. We're good. We'll catch you next week, guys. Yeah.
Well, if they do get an Intamin, it has to go in Intamin Forest. I mean,
Intamin Forest.
Well, that is what that forest is. It's Intamin Forest.
So this was going to be my question. For
just quickly, guys, get your ideas in the chat, and then we'll pull them up on the screen and go through some of them as well. Sorry, Mikhail.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Yeah. So this was gonna be my question because I feel like there are multiple spots where towers would have space for SW9 to go, but I'm personally not sure about what space they are and are not allowed to use.
Mm-hmm. So I don't even think they're sure on what space they're allowed to use at this point.
No, legit. That is a legit statement.
Yeah. I'll bet. So I know it has been said a few times about the car park behind Galactica.
Yeah.
And personally, I don't really like that area as a potential area for it to go because, and I'm going to sound hypocritical when I said this because last week I said I don't mind walking around parks, but just to extend the park even further back in that direction to then for it to just continue being a dead end and you have to be coming back on yourself to get to
it would just extend it further into just
it's like the park is the park is massive by its already, and it's like I don't have a problem with having to walk to a whole long time to it. It's the fact that you're walking in the opposite direction of literally everything else in the park.
Yeah.
Even from our operations point of view, that's just a nightmare because it's almost
they have to get
like Forbidden Valley almost operates like its own little mini theme park where it is at the minute.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All the staff share the rides at Forbidden Valley, right?
They do, yeah. Like a guy I work with quite a lot at towers, like he used to operate Nemesis and Galactica, and it was like, they go from one to another constantly.
So when we was doing the ERT for the Attraction Source event, there was people dressed in Galactica uniform doing the ops for Nemesis.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we do know that they've got planning permission, or I can't remember if they've got planning permission or they submitted it to turn this into, I think it's this bit, their overflow car park, into a permanent car park.
Yeah.
And which does beg the question is, I think they have got something planned here because there'd be no need to do that. Like even on its busiest days, even at fireworks, they never fill it. They never fill it. So why would they be doing something here?
Wait,
like you say, McCall,
that whole section, just like that whole section behind the main car park and behind where the hotels are, all of that they have planning permission for extra car park space for?
No, it's the
No,
one
Or is,
above.
is that
It's
that's the
the
over that's
massive
the overflow?
field there.
Yeah,
It's-
that massive
yeah.
field, the overflow.
All of that is
yeah.
over. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that is overflow. And the
They
reason
don't-
why they want to
I've
tarmac
only
it is
ever
'cause people
seen
keep
that
getting
being
stuck.
used a couple times in person.
They normally
once,
normally
but-
they
I don't
normally
think I've
use
ever
this.
seen that
They
used.
normally
Yeah.
fill this car park up before
Yeah.
they because
Even-
that's
Yeah, I think
amazing. If you
Carl,
get-
you ended up
get
down
there
that way,
for
didn't you?
if you get there
Yeah.
for fireworks a bit later than everyone else, there's a good chance you'll get put up in this car park.
Which is actually
And then you
cool.
have to look, and you have to walk that. Mate, it's so good when you get put
Yeah.
there because you're just like, I've not paid extra. Normally that's priority parking.
yeah.
And then you can just go walk straight there. So if that's a little
There's
tip,
no
if you
barrier at that end.
Yeah,
of the car
weirdly for
park
opening
either.
weekend, they were filling up that car park first, so I got directed into
Really?
there on the
Yeah,
on
they filmed the opposite way for
on
some
the
reason.
Saturday.
I don't want to go there. We had to walk there and walk all the way back.
Yeah.
The amount of times I walked the length of town,
yeah, legit. that
just
day
in
was
one
ridiculous.
evening, just a backwards and forwards from the hotel.
That's the reason
Yeah.
why we're all fucked on the first evening.
But anyway, yeah. So like the areas that I did think about, were like the area in between CBB's Land and X sector where Spinball Wizard is. Even if they weren't to get rid of Spinball Wizard, just that area in there. Obviously
The
Intamin
access
Forest.
roads are- yeah.
Obviously Intamin Forest.
Yeah,
I
but like
feel
behind
like-
they were to
over round by 13, there's a load.
I
of
feel
space,
like,
so I could-
just going back to here, first before we move on. I feel
Yeah.
like Spinball will be the first coaster to go. I think it will.
I kind of feel like it will as well.
I don't want it to because I think it's an awesome coaster and it's a nice little like filler coaster. And
we
it's
were
like,
told it's
for-
getting
for everyone.
repainted very soon.
Oh, well, maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will stay a lot longer than I think.
That was at the attraction source event.
But even if it doesn't get removed though, there's still a fair bit of space in between.
I just feel like CBBS is a massive IP for them. It does very well, and it's going to be prioritized to sit an extension to CBBS before
Yes.
anything else. I don't
Yeah.
think that. I don't think that
Yeah.
will be. I don't think anything thrill will go there personally.
Yep. I agree.
That's what I think on it.
That's kind of what I was wondering. Are they going to put a massive thrill? Well, not massive. Obviously, they can only go so high. But
It's
are they going to put
very
like
close to
a
the
major
edge as
thrill
well.
coaster right next to CBBS Land? I don't know if I.
If they were gonna, if there's gonna put any coaster there, it would be a family thrill. But I don't think. Obviously, that won't be an SW9. Well, to be fair, the last one was a family coaster.
Yeah.
Technically. So where was your other idea?
Intamin Forest.
Yeah, obviously Intamin Forest. Like I feel like they could have an extension path go in between where 13's queue line entrance is and roller disco, and then loop it round 13's queue line. Use that forested section, behind 13's queue line.
There is
forest.
yeah.
Depends
It's
on what they're
dangerous.
allowed to chop down.
Yeah, it's dangerously close to the gardens there. That's the problem.
Is it?
So
Yeah,
if we're gonna
the
do
gardens
this, we
here.
need to stop. We need to stop thinking.
No,
about
no. Like it would curl around to the right.
It would go
behind-
back round following
Ye-
like Rita's track,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can't
Well,
build there.
yeah.
and then
I
back.
think
down.
I think these trees. I think like I'm
You
not
can't
an
build on them
expert.
trees. You can't
but
build
the-
on them.
but
trees.
I
This
do-
is.
I
But,
do
I mean,
know-
that goes
I do
back to
know
what
for
I'm
a
saying though. I don't know what can and can't be used.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
saying I'm about to say I know for a
Right.
fact that 13's track was custom built to go around a lot of
Yes.
these trees.
It was.
Right.
Because like there's like ancient trees
They're all
in there
protected.
that are
all
protected.
So
The only difference to that is if there are diseased trees, then they're allowed to get
we
rid of
can
them.
get rid of them. Yeah.
But yeah, it did have to have like a proper outbreak.
Oops! Let me just. Oops! This spore that destroys trees. Oh no! I dropped it. Whatever
cigarette.
are we going to
I
do?
think if we're gonna talk about what we should just forget about restrictions, just talk about what we think would be good ideas. Because otherwise, we're just gonna be like, nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do that. Nope, can't. Do
I-
that.
I think we have to bear that in mind though,
I
because
Yeah,
saw
so
in
do
the
I.
chat.
That-
Apparently, SNS have confirmed an Axis coaster coming to Europe.
Nah.
Yeah, they have, but I don't know.
I'm not
I don't.
sure.
I don't see that.
Really
I don't
fit
see that ending up at Towers.
for
Personally.
Towers.
Towers are building down, if anything, aren't they? Like,
Yeah.
they would have to build down somewhere, and I can't imagine an axe. I mean, they do like their world firsts, especially at Towers. Well,
So let me explain the third place I thought of then. Before Luke, before you had said what you'd said about their plans for Katanga Canyon, I was thinking it could involve like revamping Katanga Canyon and using that area for another major, well, for SW9 in there. I think that could have potentially really gone down really well if they rework that area. I don't know if that would involve getting rid of Congo River Rapids or not, but I think that would be an interesting kind of strategy to look into. But since you mentioned that they, I don't know if they would plan to do that. So like what I had thought is and I know certain areas of where like the remnants of the old flume are, they can't touch. I know there's some land around there that they can't do anything with because that's protected. But just like somewhere in that area where Haunted Hollow sort of threads through and the other pathways nearby there, that's like it almost seems like the valley is where the actual gardens are, and they can't touch, and they're not going to do anything with the gardens, obviously. But everything on the other side of like that main building on the bottom of the gardens, where Haunted Hollow is, and there's some other sort of just like other pathways cutting through the forest there. You know, there's a little lake spot around like at the bottom of the Forbidden Valley Skyride station. Just in and around there, I think would be could be a good spot. That's like
I'm not sure. This is the thing. I don't know if these.
I feel like in that
are gardens as well. You know.
You feel you think they're classified as the gardens as well?
I think this lake here is kind of like an I think it probably would be a dispute. I think it would be a dispute. I think you could argue it's not. But I feel like once you get people involved, they're like, no, these are.
That's correct. What Tech Andrews just said. I think heard somewhere they can't build where the flume used to be either. No, they can't.
That's why they can't get rid of it. Any other flume stuff. That's because it was built before. It was built before like all these things come into place. These building restrictions come into place. So yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, going back to Katanga Canyon, I feel like you wouldn't actually have to potentially even get rid of the canyons.
No,
of the rapids. You could build around here. You could build stuff. You could build like, say, if we went for like the obvious choice, which is what everyone says, which is like an Intamin Blitz, for example.
Yeah,
you could build something epic around interacting with Runaway Mine Train and the rapids.
Yeah,
like, could you imagine that? Like, just from here, you could kind of see where the footers would go. Like,
well, you'd use the lake. You would use the lake that's there because it's not used for anything.
And this is all man-made, so there's nothing that can be said about like any of this being taken and taken up. Like they could easily do that, and I think it would be, you know what, a coaster in Katanga Canyon themed up to that would be like a really nice. It'd be like
I think that would be
fresh air of
really cool.
You know, like a jungle themed coaster.
Yeah,
would be sick. I think that would be really good. Personally,
adventure themed with the whole Katanga Canyon vibe. It could be so cool.
But like, where could the station go in that area? Where could like all the normal standby line, the fast pass line, the exit, the entrance plaza, any nearby toilets or anything? Where in that area could they all go, do you think? Because
probably remove the Katanga Canyon, the mine train shop.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
And then have where the helix is for the mine train being a focal point of the area. So opening it up, getting rid of that stupid game stand in front of it, which does my head in because it's such a nice view when that's not there.
Yeah.
opening down, then going down, probably dip down or launch up into where the lake is. Few airtime hills.
I mean,
across
I
the
hate
lake,
to
few
say it. I
inversion.
hate to say it, but even pizza pasta buffet would be a good
Move it.
station building.
You could move pizza pasta to anywhere in the park.
You could rejig this path. You could rejig this path, right, and then have like almost like a a kind of an Untamed style tilt out the station coming round and out there to do. I don't know, maybe something like that, just like a statement, which you should see that coming out of there, maybe, or just, I don't know.
The station's above the rapids, so the way like Shockwave Station is,
Yeah, that could be done.
Then launch down over the path. Oh, that'd be cool. I've got some ideas.
I
wouldn't mind running a competition for this, on NL or Planet Coaster or something.
I know for a fact you're going to be doing this in virtual towers, using that as the base.
Why not? We've got it.
Yeah, you've got it there, ready to go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Let's make sure.
Yeah.
Rollerbaz says noise is the other issue though. They'll have to prove it won't increase noticeability. That's why I think indoor coaster around the car park, totally different ride type, rainproof.
I think if we're talking about this area specifically, you won't have that much of an issue. I know that they put in the tunnels for that issue on Wickerman.
It's a wooden coaster. Wooden coasters are
they're loud, aren't they?
Yeah. I think it's. I
mean, look at all this.
Yeah,
but look at all this. Like it's the most. This and Forbidden Valley it's like the safe place for them to put a coaster. Obviously, you've got these.
They could be extending Katanga Canyon out. So that car park piece there. On the corner of Katanga Canyon, where
they use that for overflow as well. To be fair,
yeah, but this is what I'm saying.
If they get rid of that,
they could extend Katanga Canyon out that way, and that's why they're putting the overflow in.
That's a show.
And then they could put the road round the new area and get rid of the road that goes through there, because that's just where the Smiler track's at when they built the Smiler.
Yeah.
So
that's actually a show, is that?
They could get rid of that bit, and that's why they want to build on the overflow. And they've got a hill. Doesn't look like a hill, but there's a fucking hill there. And it goes all the way down to Jewel and up. It's very steep. So they could probably not flatten it, but have enough area there to go out towards that way and back in. They could also plant trees to block off the road for the farmers. It could be doable. Massively doable.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a prime time location for it.
Yeah. They'll have to plant some trees though. I mean, the barrier that's there now, if you look at the pines on the back end, where I don't want to go too deep into VTO, but like the trees there are very tall. You're talking like 40, 50 foot trees on the back end there.
What, here?
It's a wall. Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
So
that's like a sound barrier as well.
Yes, they're not as big as they used to be. They used to be a lot bigger, but they are planting more. I'm noticing they are planting more trees and removing older trees now as well at towers. Lots of paint marks on things and stuff. And who knows? That could be the catalyst that opens up Haunted Hollow in some area where they can build to extend down and come back.
Yeah. It would be nice to get something in here, because I feel like it would balance the park out a lot as well.
Matt says, where will the temporary lights live though?
they need to fuck off.
I genuinely think they're going to invest.
I love that they put them in a circle.
I put a tweet up recently saying like the gens in their natural habitat. It just looked like they were all just like grazing.
Somebody asked a question at the event. And they were like, how long have you had it for? How much is the rental on them things now? Because you've had them for ages. Someone literally said that, and I was like, I work for Speedy. I can do you a deal. And people started laughing.
I feel like the amount of events that towers are doing, the Oktoberfest are opening up late last year. They were doing night rides in Oktoberfest. They're going to start thinking of permanent lighting. It's going to cut, because I remember filming one time and I was there way after all the guests were there, and they were going around in like a little golf buggy, like turning on the
generators.
And I'm like, obviously, like people will think about that, but when you're a guest, you don't think like someone has to go and flip and turn them off. It's obvious, but until you see it, you're like, oh yeah, of course they do. Like, so it makes sense that they'll start thinking of permanent lighting, and you've got to remember, like Topia, they were going into power mains in all them. I saw them trailing all the cabling down and stuff. So
yeah,
they can do it. They can easily do it. It's just going to be a big but this brings me on to another topic before, in case you want to go back here. I guess we can go around and bring ideas, but I guess it comes to like what do we think Towers actually needs?
That's what I was gonna bring up. Just like if you want to segue into just the lineup of the park, and
because a major thing I
would
think
be the best addition to that.
I think a major thing that Towers are missing is now they've got rid of the log flume. That I think they're a water ride down personally, and even if we're in the UK, like parks need water rides. It doesn't matter where you are. I feel like even if you don't like water rides, they are popular. So I just feel like
Battle Galleons is a testament to that, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Always rammed.
It's just a no-brainer to me that they could have such a good water coaster at this park. And when I say water coaster, I think something along the lines of, I've said it before, but Flying Dutchman, like a newer version of that, where you've got a good mix of indoor and outdoor bits. So you're kind of like
sick.
It'd be so good. Like you've got all this like body of water you could potentially utilize.
Put chlorine in.
Actually actually make it safe.
Not just colored dye.
That's runoff.
But you could do something with it, surely. But even so,
you love getting blue and green dye on white t-shirts. I love that shit.
but like I don't know, anywhere in the park, like, if they could fit it, I'd love a water coaster, something that has like a dark ride section, because they I feel like I love dark rides, and I think Towers need more of them.
Yeah.
But like that's the beauty with newer dark ride. I mean, newer, not even new, but just like water rides in general is you can make it so you don't get wet. Efteling, for example, you just lower the water level, and then you hardly get wet on Flying Dutchman. But if you go there in the summer, you get very wet on it. So
Phantasialand literally do that with Chapas.
It's easily doable. So it's not even a case of, oh, it's the UK, no one wants to get like soaked. It's like, no, we do. We literally walk around. If you walk around Towers and it's raining, people are still walking around. It's not like Florida, where people run away. I think we could do with a solid dark ride / water coaster that has.
I think that was. I was trying to think of other additions, and I couldn't think of any other ones that would better suit this lineup than that. Like a water coaster with dark ride sections. It's missing a water ride. It's missing an indoor coaster. Like it's missing. Like we would like more solid dark ride elements in this park, but like also missing an indoor, like something of an indoor coaster element. In there as well. This kind of is a Swiss Army knife in the sense that it ticks all of those kind of secondary missing elements.
I agree. Yeah. Definitely needs a dark ride section though. Like whatever they build has to have a dark ride / story. It's Towers.
Something like Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld Orlando.
Wow.
Would work.
Can people make sure we're looking at the comments, because I've got a got a thing saying, Joe, check WhatsApp for planning protection map from Chris. So Chris, as in Ryan, this is his game. He's this is literally his job, is tree felling, and
is it?
That's what he does. That's his business.
Nice.
But I need to find a way to get this up, because this tells you the protection.
It is on the Staffordshire Moorlands thing. We have had a look at it before, and everything's in red basically.
This is not. This isn't red. This is something else. But I'll get this up. I mean, carry on talking.
Have you got WhatsApp web on your?
Yeah, this is what I'm going to try and get onto. But can we not have dead air?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I just think I think that would work really well for towers because like I said, it fills a bunch of like Towers lineup. Towers coastal lineup is really well rounded when you think about it. I think not enough is said about just how diverse Towers' coastal lineup is.
Oh yeah,
but, but there are just little things in the experiential sort of checklist that are missing, and like Ben said, like we've said, like a dark ride, like a water coaster with a dark ride section, with a solid coaster section, or like dark ride / indoor, coaster element section, fills a lot of holes, like all the way around. So like we've mentioned Flying Dutchman, I mentioned Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld Orlando, something in that vein. And you don't have to worry about those being super tall, and they can be appealing to the family, and they can be thrilling as well, and they can be very creative in their experience. I think it ticks more boxes specifically for Towers' coastal lineup than anything else, really, to be honest.
So here's a picture of protected trees. So we've got
haunted hollows out the question.
Yeah,
there is a little bit of space around
behind it,
around by 13 though, still as well. There's a little bit of space.
I have a feeling that there is some more protected trees in that 13 cluster than what's on there.
But yeah, the up by Katanga Canyon.
Yeah, that's totally doable.
Nice, clear.
I genuinely feel like that's why they've applied for that planning permission for that car park. I might be onto something there. That they're going to extend Katanga Canyon out. Why not? Someone said put a good themed family drop tower, like Croc Drop in. Yeah, and do a coaster as well. Like really boost Katanga Canyon in that area.
I do think it would be a perfect place to throw in some expansion, because I think I just think it would be I think it would be a better place than extending back behind Galactica.
Yes,
because
although it does look like they have a bit of space just above X Sector.
Yes,
that
they do.
Space between Spinball and maybe an X Sector extension.
What is that? Why Enterprise has been down?
Go past back through like where Enterprise is.
Oh, a booster bite with inversion like that. That's cool.
That could be quite an interesting, but that then puts it quite close to the road and noise complaints.
Yeah, you won't be able to have it high. Yeah,
it's on that side of the park, which is closest to.
It always blows my mind how close like X Sector is to the road when you're driving past it. Like it's
they
like
built 180 foot.
Oh, I'm stupid. No,
drop roller coaster there as well.
Yeah, it's mental. Like you could never get away with building Oblivion these days. I don't think. You just do not do it. Like the only reason Smiler gets away with it is in a pit, but we know that we can always dig down, so that's fine. So that's.
Do we know where the noise complaints usually come from? It's usually
the ropers.
Am I right in thinking
they had moved out?
Am I right in thinking it's just like one or two households?
Where does anyone know where the ropers? I don't want to dox them, but I mean they're pretty obvious. But surely they've got to be like around here or something.
Are they around the back end near Oblivion? I think
they are quite close round towards Oblivion. I think.
I have no clue.
So they could.
Chained Oak. You should stay there. It's good.
That's the chain. That's that chained oak, isn't it?
Chained dog oak.
Chained dog oak. Yeah, that looks really nice. Is that where Aaron starts?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where Aaron
that little cabin. That looked really nice. But I know that they've got.
We should all get a few of them. That'd be sick. Chained dog.
Oh, okay. 13 is in the black line. All the trees around it protected. Just not the best picture.
I see.
What's that?
So 13 is basically on the border of that black line.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Will be
around 13 is protected.
So hold on, is that Burger Kitchen there?
That looks like the Skyrim
Yeah.
station, right?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, well, it's like all attached, isn't it, around there? So we've got this. We've got like the old Cred Corner. If we go on here,
Yeah.
I've always thought, right, I've been into that back entrance, right? If they could somehow relocate all this stuff, you've got look at all this real estate you've got around here, like.
But wouldn't
that's
they
not protected?
But they've just done the whole David Williams world.
Yeah, but you could
there.
make you could
Which
make
They've also
it
put
a
it next to a
massive
dungeons, James, so they'll do that. They'll do
you
anything.
could have some kind of path what comes into here, and then somehow works its way. You could do it.
You'd need to avoid.
And you can't, like, if you look at the size of a car, like a van or that actually shows you how big this bit is.
Huge area, yeah, it's huge.
Huge area, and these aren't protected trees apparently. And we never see the flag.
Flag tower.
Flag tower. We never see that. So that would be
Which
nice.
is a shame because it's a beautiful building.
But this is where they used to have the actual Cred Corner was here, wasn't it? Like this is where it was back in the day. It wasn't here. So easily use all this around here. Like, and I think the border's like here, isn't it? Of protected trees. It's around about here.
If that's where the valley drops off.
This, yeah.
That, yeah. Proper drops off. It's about a 200-foot drop.
But
crazy.
I personally, I'd love, like, if, I mean, it's a bit difficult now because I don't think I want a world class. This is away from SW9 for a second. I'd love to see a world class dark ride. On the scale of like Rise Resistance, Symbolica, Trackless, or whatever it is. Whatever it is, I'd love to see that. And I think around here you could have a massive show building. Somewhere.
Honestly, I would rather see that before SW9.
I've said that. I've personally, I know
as SW9.
Yeah.
Who says SW9 isn't a coast?
Because it doesn't necessarily have to
be a coast.
It has to be.
I mean, secret,
but it
carries on the track record of them always being coasters.
Let's be honest, it is a coaster, but it could be like Cosmic Rewind, indoor, huge coaster. Indoor. Imagine that. Like, I want to see more indoor.
I don't think the building would be as huge as that. It'll probably be the station building size of.
Just paint trees on the outside. It'd be fine.
Paint trees. This is the new high point. Don't get close to it. No, don't get. It's protected. You can't go up close to it. Stay at least 50 feet away. It looks like a tree. Yeah. Cool.
Just call it a tree of life.
But I've always said an amazing dark ride would be if you utilize this, which is obviously we've got Hex in here. This is obviously all the pre-shows that then goes into the Hex building, into the actual Vekoma.
Spoil the magic, Sean.
But this bit here is untouched. It's still like kind of derelict.
They would not be allowed to touch it anymore.
Nah.
You could make.
They're basically not even able to rip out Hex at this point.
But you could make a small inside building in here. You could make, like, do you know what I mean? You could build. Surely you could build it. You don't necessarily have.
I'm not sure if they're allowed to.
I think if they can make scare mazes in there,
scare mazes. I think they could just about get away with anything like proper infrastructure. They're not allowed to put in the towers anymore.
In that case, right? You could make.
They could make a fake extension to the towers.
This is what I'm thinking.
But
they could make an
them.
entrance way. Where you come out of
Mine
tours. That could be an entrance. So you could literally have some kind of entrance.
Allen's studio in there.
Not anymore.
If they say it's restoration, it's fine. Yes, we're restoring this part.
If you restore it so it looks like the towers, and then you basically come back out of where you go into Mine Tours, which is here. But then you could make some kind of fake building that then leads you to a show building that somehow wraps around here. You have a big, massive show building around here. You could have an epic dark ride that's based around the towers.
Yeah.
And then you could, like I've said before, but you could link every single area of the park, into this story of the towers, like Powers of the Tower type thing. I think that would be an epic dark ride that brings the whole park together, which I think Towers is missing, is like an overall story of like the land, if you know what I mean, and this like fantasy type land. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, they kind of explore that with some of their fireworks shows, but
Yeah,
that's if you don't go to fireworks, you don't get any of that kind of story
Absolutely.
behind it.
and it's very vague as
We
well.
open Subterra in the towers.
Stop.
Why do you like this?
Oh, go away, Marcus.
Or
No.
Stoke-on-Trent Can Coaster.
And that's what I was just laughing at.
I love that.
Stoke-on-Trent. That's amazing. That's made my evening.
There you go. No permanent fixtures unless it's in line with the original aesthetic.
Oh, Jack thinks he's so clever these days, man. No,
Come on,
it's
Jack.
no. You'd have to be though, but I think you could easily do that because if you
If they restored that part of the
restore it,
towers,
you didn't have to do.
it'd be okay.
All you're doing is making a queue in there, so you didn't have to do anything crazy. It's based around the towers, so if it looked like an stately hall, which it is, you're not doing anything drastic to it. So you would just make a fake entrance around that. I mean, that's basically what Hex Queue is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole of the pre-show is just the normal towers, but with some like effects in them. You can put effects in. You can put like a fog machine in it, like this. That it's just it's like permanent. Like Jack said, it's like doing permanent
fixtures. Yeah.
Fixtures. So you can do like lights and stuff in there. So you just make it up to be, like the original towers, and then I'd love to see something like that personally. But it's just it's a bit backwards, isn't it? Like it really does. These planning guidelines they're obviously there for a reason, but it stops them from doing like major works that need doing to the castle. Do you know? Yeah. Well, the castle. It's not a castle. Shut up, Sean. The towers.
It's not Warwick, is it?
No, no, it's not.
It's just a shame. It's just a shame that in the first place it was allowed to be ripped out.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think sometimes they have to give like they have to say if it wasn't for it being a theme park or it being taken over when it wouldn't even exist anymore because it was stripped out, bare bones. It was crumbling.
Yeah,
it wouldn't even be there if it wasn't a theme park. So then sometimes you need to like be a bit more lenient, in my opinion. Towers.
I know. I think the what was it, like a booster bike with inversions idea was thrown around like before. Yeah, Coaster's Mark mentioned it as well. And talking about Zamperla coming up with a concept for it. I do remember seeing that from Zamperla, a looping motorbike coaster there. I don't know if they'd shown it at IAPA or not, but I do remember seeing a concept of that from them. I kind of just think I need to see what improvements Zamperla have made with their new trains, their new 4 across seating trains as opposed to the 3 across ones.
Yeah,
and see how they ride and see how they're improving their the models that they're pushing at the moment before I decide how I feel about like a looping motorbike coaster. But it'd be an interesting idea, I think.
Yeah, definitely
for somewhere. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's weird how we kind of went from SW9 to dark rides to
it's what happens, man.
To towers renovations.
Yeah, that's what happens.
It's all on towers.
It's all on towers.
You can't do things linear. Like just no. Not having a Zach spin. We're not putting a Zach spin. No, we are not having a Zach
spin right there.
Yes.
Mate,
world's
tallest Zach spin right in the middle of the gardens. Come at me.
Why can't we just put something there, though?
Imagine.
Why can't we just put it there?
Yeah.
Oh, imagine the amount of shit that would get in for blocking that sight line of the towers.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of almost did with that stage, but
yeah. I mean, they should bring back the zip line that goes from the towers.
Oh no!
There was a zip line.
Yeah, there was a zip line that went all the way from the towers all the way down to the other side of the lake.
Yeah,
like
literally.
there.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Like
went
that.
all the way down
when was
there.
that?
It
That was
lasted
years
about
ago.
a year. Not even
Also,
a year. I think it lasted
Another
about
thing I
3
read
months.
earlier:
What?
middle monorail station. What?
Yeah, I saw that. What? Like,
That'd
I
be
was
a
trying to
good
work
idea.
out where the fuck it would be.
Katanga
I
Canyon.
think. Who was it? Who was it that said that?
I can't remember.
I do remember seeing the
I think.
comment.
Oh, is it Techno Andrew?
Maybe, but I think they might have
Yeah.
mistaken. Yeah,
That's
that I
the
think.
depot.
That's the
I was gonna
depot.
say. I
That's-
feel like
that's
that's.
where
I feel like
they
that's the
store it all.
maintenance.
And then the building
maintenance
next to it is the
area
subterra.
for-
So
I feel like
was
that.
gonna
Yeah,
say.
that might be the.
Oh, I think
area
what it
for
might.
the monorails.
Yeah, it might mean like move the depot and put coaster there and go
You
out
kinda
to the
need the
car
depot
park
though,
that way.
don't you?
Yeah,
you do need a
that's
depot.
You need a
but you don't
maintenance
need
area
it
for
that
the
big.
monorail.
You go through it. Where?
Well, I mean the monorail tracks go right next to it.
Yeah,
Well,
like
they have
you
to.
can see it. It's like there, like look.
You can see it. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
But,
was one
I
thing they
mean-
said, by the way, just quickly on the monorail.
Apparently,
They said that-
there's evac platforms monorail next to Congo. Apparently,
Yeah.
Yeah. But what they were saying about ripping the vinyls off the monorail, which everyone's really excited for, they were very
yes.
concerned about their behind the scenes, how everything looks behind the scenes, about sprucing that up before they do it. A lot of the reason why they
through it though.
yeah, but the concern about if you can like directly see behind the scenes, they want to spruce everything up that you see, so it doesn't ruin the experience of Alton Towers, basically.
Which
when
what
you're
they should
through.
do anyway, really.
Yeah, it's what
I
they
mean,
should
yeah,
do.
the
It'll always
vinyl
be okay.
ruined my experience of towers.
Yes.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what a nice view of like Nemesis as I go.
I want that view of Nemesis back, man. Just sliding past Nemesis on the monorail.
I just see dots.
And dots and optical illusions. Yes.
Well, this monstrosity here is the problem, isn't it? Really, like if they're not
Subterra.
using it, like
They are using it, but for storage.
yeah. I mean,
Don't lie. That's where your gimbals are, Sean. Don't
Yeah.
that's where your lights
Oh,
are.
that's a
That's where your
gimbal
gimbals
warehouse.
are in. That's where
that's where
it's
my
Parksville's headquarters.
extra
that's what it
large
is.
extra large drone is in there.
He literally goes through the tunnel and comes out like Bound by Spooks or Us through it. Like he's built his own tunnel in there.
But you could
That's
like I've
where all
always
the
thought,
containers of red water dye for Nemesis are being stored in there.
but I've always thought like a nice little addition to Forbidden Valley, if I was going to go down that route, was literally having some kind of multi-launch coaster just going around the area. I think would be sick. It's a lot bigger area than you actually think when you look at all these paths and stuff for supports.
Yeah,
you could fit something in here easily. Like, Matt, this is why. Actually, I'm not going to say that because I was going to give our password away. But I just realised I was like, I don't want to say that. But I'd love to see some. I'd love to see some interaction.
Anyway, we'll see you next week. Cheers, guys.
I'd love to see some interaction between like Galactica, like something going around
Sun Terror monstrosity
around Nemesis, around around here. But if they're Sun Terror,
Sun Terror, he mistyped.
Mate, Marcus, there's nothing left of it, bro. It's gone. It's literally like an empty building.
The case.
So it's just
The
a
case
building
for
at the minute.
extremists.
If they're not going to do something with it, turn it into a station. Don't do something with it.
Put the eggs on the lawns.
But yeah, what do you think of that? Like having some kind of interaction.
That
with
would
a
be
coaster
really
around
cool.
here.
Yeah, definitely. It's
I
just,
think that's more realistic than building, extending Forbidden Valley. Personally,
if they're going to extend Forbidden Valley, there's got to be another way of getting to it than just walking past Nemesis, walking past Galactica. They have to make it special. And don't forget, that's the fucking hotel entrance. They rely on that to actually sell tickets for the hotel, you know? Like, that's a perk that you get from the hotel.
Sure. Which, I mean, why wouldn't it be? Like
Yeah.
I just wish they'd moved the tent to the other side.
Go away, tent.
Can you not just pick it up, Sean, next time you're doing some filming and going, right, I need to pick this up and put it
Yeah,
outside.
Just move it on the other side of the fence.
Opposite side of the gate. There's a gate there.
The gate,
like,
yeah.
Stand there.
It's a legitimate, like, I don't know why it's there. Like, it surely from a park perspective, they want people having social media photos in front of this portal. I highlighted that. So they should like, there should be better. Yeah, it needs to be moved, really.
Get rid of it. Bin it.
Yeah. And then you've got this
I
empty.
get why they have to have it.
Nice. I get why they got to have it. They don't have to have it there, though.
Just put it the other side of the gate. It would be
Literally,
nice and hidden.
10 foot the other side of the or have it where, do you know where the zebra crossing is?
Yeah.
Just after that, before you even get near the entrance to the park.
Yeah, literally just have it on the other side of the zebra crossing.
Yeah.
Because that way you have it there, and you don't need to just walk straight in the park from there.
Yeah, but the people, the staff want to have something to look at, I guess. not just golf.
I was going to say, they can look at cars and golf.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a golf battle on this year. It's happening.
I love the fact that we stayed at the hotel.
We stay at the hotel and we never do the golf. Like, we always say, oh, we'll do a vlog. It'll be dead funny.
That's because it closes when the park closes.
Yeah.
Stupid idea. Leave it open at least 2 hours after the park closes. Or just leave it open till 8 because the hotel guests can use it.
Yeah, and it requires like one staff member on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, literally. There's a club, there's a ball. Off you go.
You think if you just make it so, I mean, I don't know how it works in the minute, but you'd think they just have someone from the hotel team managing that. It should be an extension of the hotel. It shouldn't be like an extension of the theme park.
No.
That should be like one of the same, really.
Again, though, it's a stupid place to put the golf because they could have put it even closer to the hotel. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not that close to the hotel. You have to walk around the car parks, around the monorail station, then you've got to get down. Almost feels like it's an extension of the theme park, if you know what I mean. But imagine if they put an Intamin Blitz and next to extraordinary.
That'd be amazing.
It don't work unless it's themed to PGA or something.
Coasters Mark said turn Subterra into a huge cargo supply where they put all of Rita's worst reviews.
It won't be big enough. Rita ain't going anywhere.
I can't wait to get to Hyde Park next month.
You get to ride the extended Rita. It's got an extra hill, mate.
And just have it be so much better as well.
It's got an extra hill.
I'm interested to see it, to experience it, really.
I think it'd be good.
It looks good because I don't know, man. Like it would be good because I don't think Rita's that bad.
No,
I think it's fun.
There's better coasters, but I think it does the job. It's always one of the busiest rides on park all the time.
Size of the queue for it
on the park. Yeah, exactly. So, but I find it weird. I find it weird when you see Hyde Park's version desert race though, because it's like it's got the trees around it, so it looks weird. It looks even more bare. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah. And this is what I was saying about like if people are really realistically talking about Towers adding an Intamin multi-launch coaster, it's like realistically, if that were to happen, like I've heard so many like instances and stories of parks having the same or similar types of coaster and just guests being like, which one's which? Like, and it's like they wanted to go to one. Well, they go to one and they wanted it to be the other one, and then they got mistaken between the two. And it's like, like how like it's weird because Rita was you know, opened at a time where launch coasters were predicated on getting, you know, coaster trains up to a speed pretty quickly to get them high in the air.
Yes.
Rita doesn't do that, obviously, because of the height restriction and stuff. How do they differentiate outside of just one having more launches than Rita? How do they differentiate a multi-launch coaster experience from Rita? Because I mean, like, Rita has the launch and then a layout after it.
Yeah.
Like with a multi-launch coaster, we're talking about
By the way,
launch with a layout after it.
Chris has just sent me this saying that the trees around Nemesis aren't protected.
Oh, cool.
So
that explains why a lot of them have been chopped down. Then,
yeah,
a lot of them.
So all of them can be done with them.
But again, you've got the barriers to the exit to the car park just behind them.
Yeah, you do.
The way out the park. Yeah, but I know what you're saying, Mikhail. Like
it's basically adding the same coaster again. Like, well, not the same, but like similar at least.
Yeah,
it's
I know
like how do you differentiate it?
Unless you go up from a launch, then
which towers can't do.
No, exactly.
No, the thing is with Rita, it's not a bad coaster. It just doesn't do much. You just need to make. You could make a long.
I'm not saying it's a bad coaster or they needed to add it. They need to just add a better one. I was like, how do they differentiate what it?
Yeah, I mean, like for marketing reasons. Do you mean in terms of like how do we say? I guess you just go down the route of. I mean, like with Vekoma, for example, they marketed that as the first roller coaster with that merges wood and fire. Like there's something they can do, some kind of spin on it that they can do. But I feel like it's more realistic that the more I think about it, it's more realistic that they'll go for some kind of indoor coaster or even a mixture of indoor and outdoor and have dark rides element in it.
That's what I think as well.
So you imagine if they did something like Cosmic Rewind, where Cosmic Rewind, the selling point of that is, it has like backward launches, but it's completely controllable. If they, I don't know, managed to find a manufacturer who was developing some kind of new type of experience, like we've seen with Vekoma and what they did with Fly, that was a kind of a new concept completely. So there'd have to be a hook, I think, before they went for something. I don't think they would just build an Intamin Blitz and be like, it's an Intamin Blitz, come and experience it. There'd have to be something that they could shout about because that's what they like, and it works. It
would have to be an entirely different idea in terms of the attraction, just the theme of it, or just like the sort of world it's putting you into. It'd have to be a completely different color. If it was outside, it would have to be a completely different color. Just make it as distinguishable from Rita as possible.
I can't remember what it was called now. What the model is, but Arthur, that ride at
the suspended powered coaster.
Yeah, so if they could make something similar to that, where you have like sections that are powered, that you could like be able to control the spin to show you scenes.
Yeah,
but then suddenly go into like an actual coaster type layout that actually has some force to it.
I like that.
You'd still be enough. You'd still be probably like family on the family thing, but you could make it kind of forceful if there's something like that in development. Because I'm surprised more than models have not been snapped up. You think Disney would be all over that type of model? It's weird that they haven't been.
Honestly, yeah, and I'd like to think they could do a better job with it than Universal Studios Beijing evidently did with their Jurassic World one. I don't know if you guys had seen that.
No, I haven't
seen around
that shit looked like bare bones.
Oh no! Oh god, yeah. I remember that being.
Do you remember that?
We looked at that on the show, I think, didn't we?
Yeah.
It might have been Coaster Gen show. We looked on that.
Yeah,
it might have been.
But that was awful. That was. But yeah, like
it looked so bare and incomplete.
But that would suit like a jungle theme. You could do something jungle theme to that.
For sure.
It's going to have to be something like that combines, like we've been saying. It's going to have to be something that combines multiple experiences like that, multiple elemental kind of.
Yeah, I think it needs to be a
kind
whole
of ideas in one coaster experience. Because I mean, like we've said, like Towers' coaster lineup at this point is really diverse, like, and without being able to go high with a coaster experience. They're gonna have to do something like that. And
well, I not to go into too much detail, but I mean, I put a tweet out today talking about how I think like sometimes it's a massive topic to go into right now, but I don't want to go into it. But we've all seen it was like how we sometimes underappreciate our parks because we visit them so much, and it's something that's echoed quite a lot. But something that a lot of people said, not just from the UK but other countries, are saying, like, for example, Alton Towers lineup is an amazing lineup when you compare it to a lot of the bigger theme parks in Europe. Even like, I mean, it's comparable to. I wouldn't say we're on the same level as Cedar Point, but in terms of the lineup, the different types of rides we have, not many parks have that. You know, so it's really hard to find something like a gap in their coaster lineup, really. So it'd have to be something special, I think. We have a flying coaster. We have a drop coaster. We have an Intamin. What the hell you call them? 13. Don't even know what you call that. What's that called?
I think it's
free fall.
I think it's called the multi-dimensional.
Yeah,
coaster.
we have a launch coaster
or something like that.
We have an Intamin launch coaster. We have a spinning coaster.
I love 13. I love the first drop on the back row. Mint. Love it.
Underrated as always. So, guys, we're gonna start wrapping up soon because we've been going like over 2 hours now, or 2 hours 20.
It's gone longer than the 30th episode.
Yeah. If you've got any things you want us to talk about, get them in now,
and then
or
we'll
forever hold your peace.
We'll do it next week.
Oh yeah,
that is a good
desert race.
To be honest, your what you were talking about on Twitter today, Sean, about about just our parks not being as bad as some of us make them out to be, just because, you know, we've been to them a whole heap of times and stuff. That made me think about. I mean, we can obviously get into this like next week or whenever, but just thinking about because thinking about our perception of our sort of like almost maybe evolving perception of European parks and just non-UK parks versus our own now, from as an objective standpoint as we could possibly portray it, because like obviously there's so many of us, there's so many, you know, enthusiasts and just people in general getting back out to European parks now. Like we're hearing all about people going to Plopsaland, Wallaby Belgium, Phantasialand, Europa Park, Wallaby Holland, and all the rest of them. So like that would be interesting to look into and see what other people think about, you know, parks out there.
I think something we've talked. Yeah, I think something people we have to consider, like in this country, is that you can look at American theme parks, which you can look at as America as a whole, which is we tend to do in the UK, and go, look at how many amazing coasters they have and theme parks and stuff and amusement parks. But you've got to remember, like, most people in the US are traveling like at least 3 hours to get to their nearest theme park. Like, it's mad big. So when we're going to like Plopsaland, that seems, or like Plopsaland or Wallaby Belgium, which everyone's going to at the minute, that seems like a big trip to us. But to a lot of Americans, like, that's a short trip. That's like shorter trip than their local park sometimes. So we kind of have to lump ourselves in. We are Europe at the end of the day. Like, just because we're in Ireland, we are Europe, and that's kind of like how you have to see it. Is like, we have amazing things out there. Obviously, we want stuff on our doorstep, and that is the best outcome of this. But we do have towers. I think Pleasure Beach is a great park as well. I think it's got an amazing mix of different rides, like rides you're not going to get in a lot of different places. You know, we do actually have a good selection of rides when you look at how close they are all together in terms of every other country around the world. So obviously, excluding Germany, that have just the best theme parks. And theme park ops as well. Like, they seem to just have the best operations most of the time as well, which is something I'd like to see. But yeah, it's a good topic we could have another time, I think. discuss about it. I don't know how would word it or whatever, but we definitely could think about it.
Yeah, we can think about it. We have a whole week to think about it, but we have a whole week to leave it till Tuesday night to think about it.
That's how.
Next week's suggestion: the familification of UK parks. Why stop the only park building up the thrill ladder?
Oh,
Are they though?
there was a whole thing with them, yeah.
It's been a long time since they've had an actual thrill ride until now.
They did try to break back into the family market for a while.
They kind of need to. Do you not think they need to focus? I mean, no, they're definitely
too close.
They definitely, true. But
Legoland.
Yeah, Legoland. But also, we're talking about London. Have you seen how built up London is? It's the #1 tourist destination. Like, there's room to have like competition, even if it's between the same parks. You know, if you into, I mean, this is going on a tangent, but if you made a really good family area, kids area to Thorpe Park, it'd arguably be one of the best theme parks in the UK. That's like literally what they're missing. After they have Exodus, I think Exodus is going to be, I think most of us in agreement, if it's what we see is going to be, it's going to be a world-class coaster. It's going to be arguably the best coaster in the UK, like hands down. Like, how can it not be?
I think it'd be undeniable.
And then they've got a sick coaster lineup.
Oh, don't say that.
Rivals. Oh no, I'm sick. Sick.
Matt, calm down.
The same way now.
Calm down, Matt. Put Google down.
But
down, bro.
You've got to have a family aspect to any park to bring money in. It's just what it is. And if you want to get out of this box that you've been put in with like the same kind of crowds and stuff, then you need to like introduce that element. It's going to have to be a slow thing, but we'll see what happens though, because like you know, with a lot of investment going in, that might be their next avenue. But yeah,
the best parks always cater to multiple clientele, multiple demographics.
You've got to,
like,
otherwise you just
comprehensively.
Otherwise the park ends up being
one-dimensional.
Here we go.
It's one-dimensional, but then it's like that you end up with like the wrong crowd sometimes. I'm not saying like all of Thorpe's clientele are problematic, but we see over these busy periods they do become that way. So you got to kind of break out of that, I think. So I'm excited to see what happens with that.
Thorpe needs extending.
What they need to do is, you see this with mainland European parks, is, I mean, when we went to like Conda, for example, they build a massive coaster, they build a small little family thing right next to it. Taron, they did exactly the same thing. They build Taron and then they build a little boomerang next to it. Like, that's what you kind of need to do. You need to, and that distributes the family rides around the park rather than just having it in one corner. I don't know. That's my thinking anyway. I noticed that.
Why is everyone asking you to say bats?
Say bat. Oh, I need to check the group.
Yeah, I'm missing a joke though.
Oh yeah, no bats.
Are they asking you to say bats or
bats?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
Anyway, cool. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. Yeah, Chris is the Batman. Chris is a really interesting guy to talk to. Honestly, he a lot of his work centers around the preservation of like bats and stuff. Like it, companies pay him to do surveys of bats. And protect the species, and that's where his company comes into it and stuff. Cool. So it's really interesting, actually. They all take the piss out of him, but I respect that, Chris. Don't listen to him.
Just a dark night, Chris.
He's lying.
Dark night.
1 tree at a time.
Okay, thanks everyone. We will see you next week on the Chain Dogs. See you later, everyone. Bye bye. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.